Hello and welcome everybody to another one of my completely random and unplanned streams where I have actually no idea what the hell I'm going to be doing during it, but that comes later, as they say. And I've got some people along with me today. Some people who we haven't seen for a while, some we saw recently. So let's introduce the first guy. He lives in a desert, or so he claims. He builds things that are big and long, but I'm wondering if he's compensating for something else. It's Joe Chambers. Hello, Joe.
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm good.
Yeah, so the running gag between me and my brother-in-law is people keep complaining around here about, we're in the middle of a drought. And we just go, we live in a desert. Lower your standards.
But as you've told me, high desert.
High desert, yes, so it gets very cold during winter.
There you go. See, I do listen occasionally.
And you remember.
I do, yes. So we also have someone else who lives in a high desert, maybe a little bit lower, but he's around the same sort of area. He predominantly lives on mountains, though, or at least his time is on a mountain. I don't know. But Space-Time Brick Studios here.
My desert is higher, and Joe also lives next to a mountain.
I do.
Is it bigger or smaller than your mountain?
Oh, no, it's the same mountain. It's just it's where we keep the timepiece.
It's really long.
It's, yeah.
And because I know he's burning up, waiting there in the background to give us, that's what she said, that's what she said, that's what she said.
Yeah, can we have a moment of peace and silence? Just, okay. Now,
you ready?
I think I'm ready. I'm
okay.
ready.
He's from Wales, but don't let that put you off him. It's Cut the Craggle. It's not even there. He's walked away now.
There.
All right, good show, everyone.
Cool.
That's it for the show.
Sorry, I had to go for a piss. Are we live yet?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Oops.
We were just making fun of you.
Oh, why?
No.
Because I'm so much better than all of you.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that.
There we go. That's the one.
Wow, Sam's camera has just died.
Huh?
It's refused to focus on him.
Yeah, I don't know what's gone on there.
There you go.
Probably for the best.
You don't need to see me anyway. I'm not important.
Rumor has it this was the kind of view that Mrs. Sam had when she first met him. That's why she agreed to a second date.
Here in the States, we call that beer goggles.
Do you know what? You probably wouldn't be wrong because for the first couple of dates, I was in a hotel room. So,
yeah, your camera is like
not
focusing.
It looks like you got Vaseline on lens or something. What have you been doing?
Well, I've been talking to you, so what do you expect?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to clean up after our little conversations, you know?
Do you know what? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
What? For some reason, Space Time thinks it's Hammer Time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even going to ask.
I got
Either that or that is the worst Thor cosplay I've ever seen in my life.
This is Party Thor.
Party Thor?
It's from the What If episode.
Oh, okay.
I think to me, it was looking more like do it for self. I can't even make that joke. Do it for self. There you go. I fail.
Yeah,
I tried.
So Sam, why have you gathered us here today?
Well, I thought we'd all sit here, chat, build some Lego, and abuse my camera for being shocking.
Yeah, it was fine. It literally did this when I started, so I don't know. Is it me?
Oh,
I don't think it's you. I think it's me, but it's nice of you to think that you did it.
I'm so used to getting blamed for stuff.
Jacob is calling this the Fellowship of the Brick. I like it.
I like that.
Feel it.
I mean, I like it, but I don't want to be like one of the hobbits because they're lame.
I'm totally the Gandalf of the group.
I don't know. You look like a gardener to me.
Well, if right, let's get some ground rules here. Who's Aragon?
I can be whoever as long as I get to, I don't know, carry a big machine gun. I don't know. What nerdy thing are we talking about now?
I mean, I would love to be Aragorn, but I kind of feel like I'm more like Gimli. You know,
Not Harry Potter.
Well, or Hagrid from Harry Potter. Is he a member of the Fellowship?
I get to be Mark Watney.
There we go. I like that.
Oh, that is not your angle, Sam.
I mean, Sam, go back to that.
Ah, it worked. Oh,
So-
he was back for a second.
Because it looks like you should be on a U.S. coin at that angle.
So I'm
Anyway,
proud that
we already
I'm
said
proud
that Joe
to
is.
say that my. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I've already established that Joe is Iceman from the X-Men movies. So
Am I?
Yeah, you do look like him. Just a little bit.
Okay. What I wanted to say was I'm very proud about the fact that my 4.5-year-old son's first PG-13 movie was The Martian, and he loves it.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's got
He's
big long things. It goes to space. What more do you want?
And gets trapped on Mars. He loves planets right now.
Did he enjoy the poop potatoes?
Oh, and yes, and he laughed at it, and he was also like, I want to see the part where he fixes his own owie. I'm like, that is the most terrifying part of the movie.
Oh, it was. I couldn't stand that.
Oh.
that is a cracking film. I love that movie.
What did you do when he said F you, Neil Armstrong?
I went, oh, this is a funny part. Beep.
Does he actually say eat F you? I thought he said eat your heart out.
No,
I can't remember.
he says F you, Neil Armstrong.
Oh, okay. I know there's a part where he's the guy reports that he keeps on telling the other botanists to go have sex with themselves.
There are some really funny parts to that movie. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it.
My only problem with the film is they were acting like how revolutionary of an idea it was to use a gravity assist to get the spacecraft back to Mars. They're like, I found a way. I'm so smart guy at JPL. And it's like, that's, yeah.
It's not,
Dude, it happened in Star
That's
Trek.
why you need to read the book, because it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
You've got to think, though, in this universe of The Martian, Star Trek doesn't exist.
Oh, trying to get back in time to get some whales.
Yeah, Star Trek doesn't. They don't mention Star Trek at all. What's really weird, though, is they mention Iron Man, and yet the Winter Soldier is in the movie. They also mention the court, the Council of Elrond.
The Council of Elrond, which
and
is
Boromir
hilarious because Sean Bean is in it.
Yeah, Boromir is sat right there.
What's the Council of Elrond? I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do a fake British accent around you guys. I'm so sorry.
It's terrible.
You can try,
go.
but there's no such thing as a British accent anyway. That's the first
I
problem.
know that's the weird thing is there are so many British accents.
Yeah. The North remembers.
The North.
Why does Iron Man look lower than he was the other day, space time?
Bro, he's not lower. I just put my spare parts bins below him, so that's probably adding to the effect.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Joe, these are all my parts. I'm sure you have much more brick than I do.
Do you want to see?
Oh wait, now the pissing competition starts.
I'm actually in the middle of reorganizing my room again.
Well, you've got to have somewhere to display Black Arrow. It can't be just shoved on a shelf out of the way. It's got to be center point. See, there it is. It's in the corner. That's the wrong place for it.
Behind the TIE fighter.
See, that's totally the wrong place for it.
I'm not being funny, but that is an unhealthy collection of male dildos.
Yes.
See?
Before we started, I have to show this off because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This shouldn't exist. It has its own gravitational pull. It is. I mean,
if it has matter, it has gravity. So.
That's true. Yes, it had, but like I feel myself going.
Maybe they should have used that in The Martian to bring him back.
No, seriously.
Do you know that scene of Jason Bourne when he rolls up a newspaper to beat someone to death with? He wouldn't even have to roll that up.
Good point.
Just one hit, bang.
And here's the sad part is I ordered that the day before they came out with the Titanic set, and now I'm just like,
I would still rather have that.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with the Titanic. Like I was obsessed with it.
The same here. I saw it's on Netflix, and I just popped it on the other night and just like skimmed through all the personal drama stuff and just got to like the ship action stuff.
What you want about the film or the actual ship now that you're obsessed with?
The ship.
The ship.
The way you said that, I put it on Netflix and skipped through it. I'm like, you can't do that with like sunken objects. That's not how it works.
Move! Why aren't you moving?
Ocean exploration would be a lot easier if that was the case.
Yeah, when I was in the 5th grade, it's like I collected all these. I remember going to the school book fair, just getting books on the Titanic, and just like read everything I could, like all the aristocrats that were on board.
Yep.
Yeah, and then just learning.
My personal hero was Robert Ballard, the guy that discovered it, the wreck.
Yeah.
Do you know what year he discovered it in?
Oh, God. 1984?
1986.
1986.
Uh-huh.
And the Titanic sank on April 13th, 1912. 701 people survived. Yeah, like, just, I have all these facts in the back of my head that, like, my son is currently obsessed with the planets, and I could not be happier about that. I was obsessed with the Titanic.
Have you looked up the Lego Star Wars Planet series?
I've seen them.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have fun with those at all.
I'm thinking about ordering some of those because we watched. I'm so very sorry, but we watched episode 1, and it is a kids movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Problem solved.
Well, before you went on to Star Wars, going back to Titanic, I was just going to say, do you know that The Sixth Sense is actually a spiritual successor to Titanic?
What?
Yeah, they both have icy dead people.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. But it's funny.
I don't think Joe gets it.
No, I get it. I get it, and I wish I didn't. Dude, that's sorry. No, we watched episode 1, and he kept calling Jar Jar Binks the Froggy.
I mean, he's not wrong, is he?
No.
Did he also call Boss Nass a racist Froggy?
Yeah.
Man, I still want a Boss Nass minifigure.
There's a lot of racist aliens in episode 1.
That's the thing that I took out of that was like.
I mean, almost every Star Wars movie has it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
like Rise of Skywalker, like with Babu Frick, and Nia Num from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but why are they racist?
Because they.
I don't know what I mean, nub.
Yeah, Nine Nub just looks like a penis head. I'm
I
sorry,
love that-
Space Time, but penises aren't a race.
I love that his brother was going to be in the Return of the Jedi, and his name was Ken Nub, and he was a B-wing pilot, but he got cut. So it was Neen and Ken Nub.
Is he the circumcised brother? Or...
I know. I was thinking
Oh
that.
goodness! Oh no! Oh no!
No, but you think about it, episode 1, you have what's it, Brian Blessed doing Boss NASA, but he's doing him with like, you know, a particular accent. The Trade Federation, I forget what species they are, but
that
they're
was
all,
John Rice Davies.
I thought it was Brian Blessed.
That's John Rhys Davies?
No, it's Brian Blessed, I'm pretty sure.
Brian Blessed is Boss Nass.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, John Rhys Davies has not been in Star Wars.
Man, I always thought those were the.
Don't tell me you thought John Rhys Davies and Brian Blessed were the same person.
I mean, it could
What?
be.
I think I know you're funny. Why is he still here? How have you not kicked him? That is way worse than what Joe did.
Have you even
Brian-
seen Brian Blessed in Flash Gordon?
I was just gonna say he's the Flash Gordon one, and John Rhys Davies is Sala and Gimli.
Yes.
Oh my word!
So we got Sala and Gimli versus Hawkeye and Boss
Oh,
Nass.
Oh my word! Well, anyway, yeah.
Now, someone's asking on Google, was Brian Blessed in Lord of the Rings?
That's because Americans are racist.
And people also want to know how rich Brian Blessed is.
We need to get back to the important point here, and that episode 1 is extremely racist.
Yeah, the Trade Federation ones, they're blatantly.
Japanese businessmen.
Yeah, and yet they're played by white people, and then you have Watto, who basically is a really negative stereotype of the Jewish businessman.
Yep.
There's so many in Phantom Menace. I just keep thinking, do you know how in Dumbo on Disney Plus they've cut out the sequence with the crows?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I thought they put the disclaimer in the front.
I believe what I've told is that they did that initially, and then they've actually just cut the whole sequence, which is kind of jarring because it's a pivotal point in the movie.
Yeah.
But imagine doing that to episode 1. The film will be like 12 minutes long. If you cut all the racist bits out.
And you know what? I think cutting Watto would actually make the movie make more sense.
I mean, cut out the whole Tatooine sequence.
Drummer, I've said this before. As much as I love Qui-Gon Jinn as a character, his role just derailed the whole storyline. It should have been Obi-Wan who found Anakin and who had this obsession with training him off his own back, and it should have been Obi-Wan's failure then that he thought he could do better.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being sort of like just pushed onto him.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because the whole movie he wanted nothing to do with Anakin, and then it's like, oh, I'm just guilty now.
Yeah, and then like in the original trilogy, he says like, I was amazed that the Force was strong with him when I first met him, and I thought I could train him. No, you got guilt tripped into it by your dying father figure, mate. You know.
You'd think he would have watched the original movies before he wrote the screenplay for the new trilogy.
But alas,
Just like this republic has stood for 1,000 years, and it's like
instead of 1,000 generations.
Yeah. What's even weirder is that Disney are doubling down on that because they're doing the Knights of the High Republic. And when I first heard like the solicitation for it, I was quite excited because their description of the Jedi sounded a lot more like the original one that Obi-Wan described, them being more like Arthurian knights or samurai at the end of the feudal era going into industrial Japan. And from what I've read is that the books are pretty crap. They are like really, really sort of agenda pushing as opposed to having good stories. But they are only set, I think, about 500 years before Phantom Menace. Yoda's still knocking around, and it's showing the Jedi aligning with the Republic for the first time. So the whole thing of them it doesn't even make sense for 1,000 years now, let alone 1,000 generations that the Jedi have protected the Old Republic. So, yeah.
So the Jedi of the High Republic, do they use cannabis for the Force?
Well, in all fairness, again, take this. I'm only hearing this secondhand, so this is not my opinion. This is what people told me. But apparently, there are scenes where the Jedi actually do get high to meditate.
Oh, okay.
There's also a rock, which people aren't sure if it's actually a character or a practical joke. But there's a rock that doesn't move, who apparently is the ship's navigator.
I love Disney.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, on that note, let's have a look and see who's in the chat.
Yes. Who is still here after all that?
Well, I don't know. There's this guy called Cut the Craggle. He's rabbiting on about that's not Joe, that's Iceman. Clearly a nutter.
Really a nutter.
I don't think he'll Cut the Craggle. He's not modded.
I don't have any mods.
I am the mod.
Mrs. Craggle, she loves my t-shirt. Why, thank you.
T-Rex.
You get it, Joe? Do we need to let the cogs turn a little bit more?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, there you go.
Was that a pun?
Jacob Neely says his first PG-13 movie was Batman 1989, and he saw it when he was like 7 or 8.
I honestly can't even remember what my first PG movie was because I've been watching movies from as long as I remember. My parents were always putting films in front of me, and we don't even have PG-13, we have PG, but I don't know. Like,
I was going to say PG. I don't remember being filtered on as a kid.
No,
or 12 definitely.
Yeah,
I don't even think. Well, we've talked about this before, but I was watching Die Hard and Scarface and RoboCop when I was like 4.5, 5. So,
what's the Naked Gun rated?
PG-13.
I love how we're talking about that, and Space Time just comes in with the Naked Gun.
I'm just trying to think about the first PG-13 movie I saw.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I wasn't allowed to watch those movies. I would sneak over to my friend's house, Adam Lewandowski, to go watch The Naked Gun.
Is that a real surname?
Lewandowski?
Maybe it's the way you're saying it, but it sounds made up.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
It's probably
Polish?
Okay.
Yeah.
Lewandowski?
Yeah, something like that.
No, is it this common a name in America that you can actually spell it?
I went to college with someone with a Lewandowski that just has an R in it. And then I believe there was someone in the Trump administration with the same last name of Lewandowski.
That's right. Oh man, there's my PTSD kicking in.
So, but outside of those 3 people, those are the only Lewandowskis I've heard of.
Okay. Yeah,
I know someone called Jones.
I know 1 or 2 people named Jones.
I know far too many.
I'm in Wales. Pretty much every other person is called Jones or Williams or.
I thought you were going to say Craggle.
Or Evans. Evans is
yeah. I tried when I was in uni in England doing my masters. This guy was talking about popular Welsh names, and he was like listing them off. And I said Evans. He went, Evans is not that popular in Wales. I was like, well, I beg to differ. I haven't lived there for my entire life up until this point. And he was like, yeah, shows how much you know. I was like, what do you mean? I literally am from that place, I can get my Facebook account and go for my friends list and just look at all the people who have Evans as their last name,
Oh.
Okay.
I went.
Jones. What am I building?
that's clearly part of Delta 4 or Delta 3.
Delta 4. I'm building the
Joe,
Orion.
Look how many you have. You have 4 in the glass cabinet behind you. You do not need any more.
Oh my god, where did those come from?
The other thing I was going to say about RoboCop, to be fair, RoboCop was one of those weird things where it was obviously, I guess, rated R in the States, at 18 over here, but it was just kind of assumed that it was suitable for kids. They had like RoboCop toys. They did a RoboCop cartoon TV series.
In no universe is RoboCop suitable for kids.
Honestly, everyone in my school watched RoboCop when it was on the telly and stuff. Like, I remember a kid had a RoboCop backpack. One had a RoboCop lunchbox and stuff. RoboCop 3 was done the way it was because the first two were so popular with children.
Wow. I remember accidentally seeing part of RoboCop on TV, and it was the scene where the main character's hand gets blown off at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, good scene.
And that gave me nightmares for like days.
Oh, you pansy.
I was like 7 or 8.
So, like I told you, I was watching that when I was like 5. Come on.
Come on.
Lady Sam.
I turned out okay.
Lady Sam's piped up and she said she watched Monty Python's Meaning of Life at 6 or 7.
Wow.
I mean, I feel sorry for you because that's probably the worst feature film out there.
I always confuse it with Life of Brian, just because it has the word life in it.
I just feel like space-time is on something. Like, his IQ seems to be greatly lower than it normally is.
Hey,
Because I just wanted, when she said that, I just wanted it would be like, always look on the bright side of life.
And this is one of my streams, folks. On Craggle, we descend into madness, and this we go chaos and start a musical.
I definitely go back and forth on which is my favourite, Holy Grail or Life of Brian. They both have merits, and I feel like depending on what time of the month it is, one will be my favourite, and then the other will be my favourite.
I haven't seen all of Life of Brian, so...
Oh, for crying out loud, get this guy off the stream.
Holy Grail's my favorite.
He thinks Brian Blessed is John Rhys Davis, and he hasn't seen all of Life of Brian. Get him out.
I actually haven't seen The Meaning of Life, but...
I mean, I won't hold that against you because it's not terrible by any means, but it doesn't really feel like... It's almost like they were phoning it in by that point, It's more a sketch compilation, I guess. But even then, I would still rank it below, and now for something completely different, personally.
So, Joe, I'm going to guess you bought the Falcon before the double VIP points this past weekend.
I'm kicking myself in so many freaking ways right now. Yes. Because I was like, oh, they have it back. I need to buy it quick before it disappears again.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I'm a numbskull.
I wouldn't say that. This stuff happens. Like, I bought the the Lego Marvel like accessory minifigure pack? It's basically like a battle pack, but like in a blister packaging, because I wanted that Black Widow figure which had arm prints and a leg print, and I was like, she is not going to come in any cheap sets. This is the cheapest you're going to get her. Then I got the Marvel Advent Calendar. She's in that. And then today I've got the latest Lego Marvel magazine. I thought, oh, what minifigure can I look forward to next month? And it's the Black Widow figure. I'm going to end up with 3 or 4 of the fuckers now.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I still need to get that War Machine.
Is it still not arrived? I'm going to put the claim in and say, like,
it's lost,
Because I've sent stuff to the States after that has now arrived. So I'm really peed off because I was so chuffed that I was able to pick that up for you, and freaking male people. I don't know.
Did you say chuffed?
Yeah, chuffed, as in pleased with oneself.
I would say the American often use stoked more than we do. Do you know where we would say like I'm chuffed? They always say, "Oh," in films it's always, "Oh, I'm so stoked."
Okay.
So it's funny because I always think to stoked is something like that old Englishmen with crevettes say when they're sitting in armchairs drinking brandy, but
I thought stoked was when you put in stuff in a fire.
That's where I thought that was from.
But people also say I'm stoked because they're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like in lots of American movies, when they're like happy, what we would say is, I'm chuffed. I often hear them say, oh, I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
did anyone get anything for double VIP?
I did.
What'd you get?
Nope.
I did 2 orders. I mean, I guess I could say them on here. I don't think it's going to spoil for the vast majority. I've got a couple of haul videos coming once the hauls arrive. But I got a couple of Halloween stuff coming that I'm hoping that will arrive in time for my Halloween stream that I'm planning on October 31st. And one big Halloween type theme set that I've been on the fence about ever since it was officially revealed. And basically, double VIP complete with that VIP spooky add-on pack just managed to make me go, okay, I'm pulling the trigger. Was that vague enough for you?
Yeah, really vague.
Aggressively vague.
Has anyone else, by the way, did anyone here get the email about the VIP packs trial?
Nope.
No.
I got an email that they were doing it, but I wasn't selected.
See, I honestly thought when I got it, I just assumed that it was for every VIP member, but then no one I know has got it, so I am actually very, very lucky. Basically, Lego are emailing some VIP members 2 codes every 2 months, and you have to put them on a order online. You can't just have them yourself, but you get an exclusive, basically VIP poly bag, which is like an assortment of different pieces. And every 2 months is a different theme. The current one is spooky. The worst thing was, though, they sent me the first lot of codes right after I just bought a bunch of new Lego, so I had nothing really to order. I managed to sort of squeeze together one order to get one of them, but I didn't use both codes. But this time I held off so that I could use both of them to get the spooky theme pack. But it's really strange. Like, I don't know anyone else who got emailed or got selected for it. Maybe
I need to start a streaming thing. Or
I don't think it's anything to do with that.
Oh, okay.
No, because Lego, if they knew it was cut to crackle, they probably would have just cancelled my order.
This guy has the potty mouth. We can't have him promoting us.
I know, actually. How many F-bombs have we dropped? We've only been going 32 minutes. It's 1 per hour, right?
I think you.
Yeah, I've heard one from you so far.
Nah, I think you're mistaken.
To be honest, I really don't mind.
Oh, okay.
I know. I wouldn't do it if Sam minded, but he told me earlier, he was like, Space-Time is like a really mild-mannered guy who doesn't have the greatest of intelligence. Joe has an unhealthy obsession with long, thin objects, but he's a good guy at heart. We need a bad boy on the stream. So you need a bad boy.
A bad boy.
So that's what I am.
If I ever said those words, I really need to have a word with myself.
Bad boys. Or what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I promise not to do any English accents. I'm just gonna have to ask you not to try any American hip hop, okay?
Why not? Do you not think I've got the skills?
Look, I am white as hell, and I'm offended when I try to do American hip hop.
Yeah, well, I was offended when we had to watch your music band videos, so there you go. And I definitely haven't watched it like 4 or 5 times a day on repeat every night before I go to bed.
If you do, bless you. I'm sorry. I think I was in that band 10 years ago. Guys, I just turned 39 last month, okay?
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I would not believe that. I would say 33, 34.
Wow.
39.
That means when you were a senior in high school, I would have been like a freshman, and you would have been like bullying me.
Oh, my wife and I talk about this occasionally. I was like, I was graduating high school while she was starting middle school.
Hey.
We don't talk about it often.
Well,
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna age everyone on the panel, but I feel like I've already done my quota for offending people today. So
You're fine.
well, I know where you'd go if you were aging me. You would add 20 years.
no, I would. What did I say before? 35.
That's
I don't know.
that's still the wrong way, but yeah, all right.
You might as well age everyone now.
Yeah. Sam, no offense, but all offense. British people just look older than they are.
Mate, I had a heart tape around that I never did.
I keep forgetting that you're younger than me, Sam. I'm sorry. So I just like assume that you're around that bracket.
I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest here.
Plus, you've also got facial hair, so you know I can't
Yeah.
with any good reasoning put you in your 20s. So
Well, and Craigle, I don't know what you look like, so you could be a disembodied voice for all. You could be a poltergeist for all I know.
I would imagine like Earl Red's head.
look, it's floating by itself. Woo!
Can confirm Craigle is a poltergeist.
Yeah, you don't want to see what I look like. I'm an ugly mother.
Speaking of poltergeists, I went to order the Ecto 1 Sunday night for double VIP, and it was temporarily out of stock.
Oh,
Oh no!
So,
I've been hassling you to buy that for so long.
yeah,
I'll tell you
Even
what,
I've got
I've
it.
come close to buying another one of those to convert into the Ecto 1A from Ghostbusters 2, because obviously I did that like with the Lego Ideas version. And I did see one on a different site. It wasn't Lego, but it was something else, and it was down like 50 quid. I'll see if I can find the link, and if it would be worthwhile shipping to America.
so I ended up doing a bricks and pieces order, and I pre-ordered all the Batman sets.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay.
Here we go. Jacob says Cutler Craggle is probably super old.
You know, I was thinking that too.
I mean, sometimes I feel like it. Seriously, once I got like past like the early 30s, or what I call the early 30s anyway. Some people try. Some person was 35 and was like, I'm in my early 30s. I was like, no, sir, you're in your mid 30s.
Yeah, that's mid 30s.
He was like, no, that's 36. I was like, no, mid 30s would be like 34, 35, 36. He goes, well, no, late 30s is 39 and 40. I was like, no, 40 is 40s.
40 and 40.
There's no beating around the bush with that one.
I know.
FaceTime and I both have advanced degrees in science and math, and we can confirm 40 is in the 40s.
Yeah. I reckon Space Time is about 43.
43?
And a third.
You're 43?
No.
Okay. I was like, what?
I mean, like, subtract 9. Like,
You're not. We can make fun of him.
I'm going to be 35 next month.
Okay.
But Scott, he's like 26, isn't he?
Scott?
Yeah, it's got
Yeah. It's just a wig.
Yes. I mean, in dog years.
Do years work different over there on the other side of the pond?
Yeah, you know.
To do with the tilt of the Earth on the axes means that we're closer to the sun.
Okay, I'm done with my project for the day. Sam, how's that?
It's not tilted over here.
That's looking good. Is that for Orion?
That's Orion. That's the Orion payload for the Delta 4 series.
That's
Our galaxy is on Orion's belt.
Okay.
Was that a Men in Black reference?
It was indeed.
Yes, there was.
Isn't it also like inaccurate? Isn't it like way more than just 3 stars. There's the 3 prominent stars, but within that space, there's like
There's a huge nebula.
Yeah, there's a huge nebula smack bang in the middle of it all.
But, I mean,
That is.
and it's
that
so
you can't really
that
see.
you have a different viewpoint from like a different part of the galaxy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's close
I
enough.
will say that I don't know, but the Orion, the constellation, is always the one that I spot first when I look up at the night sky. On the rare occasion that it's not covered in cloud cover,
it's so easy.
it always seems to be the one that that sticks
I
out.
usually go Orion, Big Dipper, and then like Draco.
I was going to say everyone in the movies always says the Big Dipper, but yeah, for me it's always Orion first, and it is Orion's belt, which is the bit where I go, oh, there's Orion's belt, and there's the rest of him.
I just don't like looking north. That's my problem.
Is that because you're racist?
I don't know how that works, but it's funny.
There we go, Southern Cross. I want to see that one day.
Yeah. All of us northern hemispherians.
Yeah, we'll all go to Australia and just camp out there and watch it.
Yeah, but the best thing about Australians is the Australian kiss.
What's that?
It's a kiss down under.
Oh god. Oh god. Which is what you say when you're doing the Australian kiss. Oh god. Oh god.
Whatever you do, don't look it in the eye.
So I was going to say I wanted to go to Hawaii and Australia for photography of the night sky, but
Did you say you want to go to Hawaii in Australia?
I said and Australia.
Oh, right. I was going to say, because Hawaii's not in Australia. I have some...
Because I just want, because those are just going to be some really great clear skies and close to the equator and down under the skies I haven't photographed,
In all fairness, I can't take the mic because it was only recently that I realized that Hawaii is to the west of mainland America. For some reason in my head, I pictured it being more like on the east side, like closer to Central America. I have no idea why. It makes no sense.
It also has the southernmost point in the United States.
Yeah. It makes no sense when I say out loud, but it's one of those things, you just kind of assume, and as soon as you actually think about it, you're like, why did I think
one of the most tragic days in American history is when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii.
Yeah.
December 7th, 1941.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. As soon as you actually start breaking it down, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941.
I put myself out there. There must be
infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Why does Space-Time sound like the guy that narrates the opening of the Clone Wars episodes?
He's been practicing.
Exactly.
But no,
that's his day job.
There must be something that you guys, fought for ages, and then once you realized it made no sense. I mean, for crying out loud, Space-Time put that John Rhys Davies was Brian Blessed.
I thought Scotland was an island.
Do you know what, though? I've met a few Americans who thought that. They thought that Scotland was a separate island to England and Wales.
Yeah, the Scottish
England
island.
and Wales was one body, and then that Scotland and Ireland was both separate. I've met it's surprising how many Americans think that.
Look, I probably when I was like 22 or 23, I actually sat down with someone from London and just had them explain to me everything about the British Isles. I'm like, so you're telling me there are multiple countries there? Really? And then I met someone from Wales, and I'm like, you're really? Huh.
Hey, I was on a live stream and I was talking about the UK, and then someone said, Craggle, what do you think you're talking about? You're from Wales, you're not in the UK. And I was like, Wales is part of the UK. And they're like, oh, I thought it was next to Sweden.
Well, on a global scale, it kind of is next to Sweden.
Do you know what?
Relatively speaking.
I don't think Craggle will be upset if he was next to Sweden.
I mean, you could be Norway, which is like snuggling Sweden.
Norway, more like Snorway.
Okay, I gotta go. I can't. So I have to introduce my son's first mock.
Go on.
This is a rocket.
Yeah, it looks like a rocket.
And it's called the Pinky. So I will be doing instructions for this. The instructions will sell exclusively on Skylab Bricks Etsy shop for $42.85 American.
How old is this?
1 or 2 steps.
6 steps.
It'll take you 6 steps. Okay.
But Joe, how old is your son?
He's 4.5.
That's pretty good. Come on, guys.
I know.
That looks like a rocket. Come on. If I was doing that when I was.
This is the flame. Like, he specifically was like, this is the rocket exhaust. I'm like, son, I'm very proud of you.
I would be proud of him.
Keep going.
I mean, one would almost say that it looks like it could be an imitation of the Black Arrow.
You know,
I mean, it's to the right scale.
Mr. Jones, if you weren't hosting this, I'd kick you off right now.
And you know what? I am honoured that he chose to celebrate British space history over American space history.
I was almost going to start humming the Russian national anthem. I don't know why that popped into my
head. That's not the Russian national anthem. That's the Rocky.
I mean, it's the Soviet national.
Could anyone actually hear that without thinking of Rocky IV?
No, I think of The Hunt for Red October.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're heathens.
Oh, but I love that movie.
It's a great movie, but Rocky IV.
I never saw it.
Rocky IV.
You've never seen Rocky IV?
No.
Sam, why do we have these people on here?
Captain, U.S. Los Angeles class, full astern.
You arrogant ass! You've killed us!
I must break you.
There you go, Joe.
Yes. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Pinky.
It's continuing mission.
They want you
Well,
to show
no. This is specifically a solar system explorer. It's going to explore all of the planets of the solar system
in one mission.
Order, and then it's going to explore the dwarf planets. That's what
so it's going to go to Mercury first,
then Venus,
then
Earth, and
then it's going to check out what's going on.
Earth.
But it's going to get an update when it comes to Earth, right? Software patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how many poo potatoes can it make?
You know, I haven't asked that. But
well, I feel like we're missing some crucial information. If I'm going to put some dollars down for the instructions, I want a guarantee of how many poo potatoes.
Yeah, you need a full bio about the designer.
I was going to say, how many stages has this thing got? Are we talking SSTO? Are we talking?
I think it was like 3.
3 stage. Okay.
Oh my God! I've reached a what's
the ability to form coherent sentences?
Nope.
I think he's beyond capacity for rational thought.
I've finally reached that point in my life where I'm making fun of my own offspring. When he's not here. Does that mean I'm an adult yet?
I don't know. I mean,
Mom, Dad, I got a college degree. I didn't feel like an adult. I got married. Didn't feel like an adult. Bought a house. Didn't feel like an adult. Somebody let me reproduce. I still feel like I'm 15.
Somebody let you reproduce. Is that what it works in America? Do you have to have someone on standby going, not this time, not this time. Okay, Joe, go.
Go.
You have to apply for a license.
Is it like when you go to a water park and there's a guy at the top of the slide going, 1, 2, 3, go, stop.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go, stop. You know? Is
Come
that,
on, Joe.
is that, was that what
Emily, and I
procreation was like for you,
question
Joe?
I question her taste.
So basically, Joe, can I just get like a soundbite of you saying that reproduction was like going down a water slide?
Reproduction was like going down a water slide. Smooth, no problems. And then you hit the bottom, it was just wet and screams everywhere. A lot of apologizing.
I just found a piece of fake Lego. Wait until Bricks and Minifigs hears about this.
Space time is just like, I have automatically discussion.
Space time is just gone to his safe space. I feel like this dream has gone where no one has gone before.
Craggle, I intend on leaving this world the same way I came in, screaming and covered in blood. Oh no, we lost Sam! We lost Sam!
Oh, there's that line, isn't it, from Red Dwarf, and he says, "I'm going to go out this world the same way I came in, kicking and screaming."
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll ask this question offline, so never mind.
Put in the private chat.
Private chat. Okay.
Make sure it's a private chat.
Oh man.
I don't know if that's appropriate. Maybe popular is the wrong word, but is it common?
We've actually, I swear we talked about this on a live stream at some point.
Okay.
Maybe not with you, but I feel like it's come up, and the answer is no.
Really?
And
So
I feel like
I'm against genital mutilation.
I
I think it was Space Time and had a conversation about it.
Okay,
And,
I guess since we're alluding to it, we can talk about it. I'm just curious. Like, circumcision is very common here in the U.S., and now that I'm an adult, I'm just like, I'm not going to mutilate my son like that.
Yeah, I
Why
mean,
would I do that?
from what I understand, like one of the things where it was popularized in the US was basically
Religious.
not even religious. It was advertised as being something to do with like hygiene, which basically the findings were very much skewed.
Yeah, but
you know, just put it back and give it a wipe. You know.
Yeah. It was popularized. It was popularized by people who are trying to prevent boys from touching themselves for religious reasons.
Yeah, I just
Help me, Jesus. You don't want them praying? Is that what you're alluding to, Joe?
I'm not gonna like start saying like, you know, it shouldn't be done if that's what their religious beliefs or something like that. But I do question when people say like, oh, they had it done because it was more hygienic and stuff. It's like it's only more hygienic if you don't wash it, and then if you don't wash it, I'm sorry, it's gonna fall off either way.
You raise a valid point.
All you're doing is buying yourself some time. It's much easier and less painful to just give it a clean.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just that thought popped in my head, and I was just curious because
Blood.
Less blood.
Yeah.
Screaming. Apologizing.
Anyway, I'd love to know why that popped into your head at that particular moment.
Because we were talking about
Oh, we were talking about like children and offspring, I guess, is it?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Is
I don't
it
know.
a choice that you've had to make recently, or?
Oh no, we decided not to do that to our son, and
He will thank you one day.
Yeah, I
he will
appreciate
thank me
that.
one day.
I get that it's in some people's religions, but I do feel like it's something that the person having it done to should really have a choice. But you know,
Yeah,
it's a weighted argument. That's why I'm less tolerant of it when I find out it's being done for non-religious reasons, because then I'm like, what is the point? Like, you know,
Well, what is the point? Right.
it's almost like basically refusing to get vaccinated or something. You know, it's just based on false findings and information.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's in the book of Genesis that you shall not vaccinate yourself.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Are we talking about the Phil Collins Genesis here?
No, I'm talking about Moses's.
Well, that was Exodus anyway, so I question the integrity of your argument there, Space-Time.
I thought Moses was the accredited author for many of the early Old Testament books.
He is the accredited author.
So take that, Craggle.
Yeah, you dummy.
I
You
have
act
to
like
look it
you're,
up.
you're
but I
talking to
don't
someone.
believe
You
that's
act like
true.
you're talking to someone who hasn't studied the Bible.
Yeah. Oh boy, how long of a conversation have we had about this?
I mean, in all fairness, you studied the American Bible, so
I hear
It's
that's
the
different.
same Bible everywhere. Oh, okay. I can't.
I've actually studied multiple versions of it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not go there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
we will say that these streams, you know, they are. I think Sam has said they're no holds barred, anything goes. So you know, you may hear that.
I'm going to hear
conversations-
Sam say that, just so we're not pressuring him into anything.
Okay. My streams are no holds barred. I don't really care.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I need to go
Sam
get a beer.
told me
I'll be
this.
right back.
You forget
Joe,
that
if you want a
I
beer,
was
mate.
on the stream that you weren't Space-Time because I'm his true best friend.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I know he hasn't been thinking of me recently, so
No.
No, I save that for when I'm away space time.
Okay.
I was just going to say, in regards to the no holds barred, you might hear stuff on here that you perhaps wouldn't hear on our other channels, but you know, we're all here to have a laugh. This is just basically like a personal conversation, and if you want to listen in and get involved in the chat, that's great. If it's something that offends you, simply click
That's
away.
not our intention.
Indeed. And a question for you, Joe.
Okay.
When are you building the Falcon?
I was gonna wait till a couple of my friends from Europe came over, and then we'd just have a big party and build it. But I don't know.
I can help.
Honey, seeing as you asked that question, let's see if we can get some flights to Salt Lake City.
Okay. Well, okay. To be more realistic, Peter, if you want to come down here, feel free. Come on down. I'm unemployed right now. Don't know how long that's gonna last.
Wait, what happened?
Is there a
They
job
find that
opening?
you were streaming whilst you're supposed to be working?
I wonder. No, they gave me some baloney excuse of like. Anyway, long story short, I think they got to me before I quit. I think that might have been what it was. I loved the company. It was a great company to work for. It just wasn't the direction I wanted to go with my engineering. And so I'm just being a stay-at-home dad for a few months. But a job opened up at a place I really wanted to work down the street. So I'm actually, when we're done, I'm going over there with a resume. So
are you going to have a
well, good luck.
resume, or are you going with the Falcon and that you're going to bribe your way into getting a job?
I like the
Oh,
way you think. I like it.
no, what you do, Joe, is you take either the Falcon or you take, you know, your LUT, your Skylab, something impressive, and you sit there and go, look,
Whatever you do,
engineer.
don't take your UCS dog's lipstick.
Black Arrow.
My Black Arrow.
Yeah, the lipstick, the dog's wiener.
Hey, have I? Hey,
Did I use wiener correctly? Is that what you say in the States? Wiener?
Wiener? I mean, that's one. It's kind of a juvenile version of it.
Oh,
But,
come on.
look at it.
Haven't you learned that I am nothing but not juvenile?
Craggle, I did some improvements to it. Most notably, I added a
Vandalized it.
What happened?
Okay, guys, I found some flights from Heathrow to Salt Lake City, $1,600 next Tuesday. So
Next Tuesday, $1,600. I think that's a tiny bit expensive and out of my range.
Whoa.
I didn't think we could fly to America until November anyway.
November the 8th.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
oh well, somehow
But
this
what's
plane-
weird is Americans can come over here.
You're
Joe,
welcome.
just get on a plane, mate. Bring it with you.
I don't bring any clothes. I just like buy a second seat and just
Yeah.
No, what you do, right, is you wear
Carry
all
on.
your clothes. You put like 4 or 5 t-shirts on, 6 pairs of underpants. And
Mr.
it's
Chambers, why are you wearing so many clothes? Well, I haven't got a suitcase because I'm taking this up.
to be honest, officer, I'm not sure if they wear clothes in England.
Hey, I know a few places where they don't.
Okay. No, I've traveled all over the world and I've oh boy, never mind.
So, Joe, we should tag team an interview. Play off each other and
Yeah.
2 people, 1 job, twice the salary.
Okay.
I don't think they would take that up.
Well, what happens is I sleep for 20 minutes and we tag team. Peter hops in, we get it done.
And
Sort
then
of.
we build some Lego in the background.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I have
and-
been in a job before where I told some people who I thought I could trust that I was thinking of leaving, and within like half an hour, I was called into the office, and they were like, "Yeah, we're giving you 2 weeks' notice." I was like, "Oh, what's the reason?" And they couldn't think of one. And I was like, "Is it because I told someone I was going to leave soon?" And they just looked at me, and I was like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, "Do you really want me to work the 2 weeks' notice, or can I just go home now?" And they were like, "You can go home now if you want to." I was like, "Cool."
Wow, I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised that in the UK you can get 2 weeks' notice for them firing you. Also, I live in Utah where they can do whatever the hell they want.
I mean, if you're on a 0 hours contract, they can give you no notice. They can just say, "Thanks,
Okay.
don't need you anymore."
Yeah, when I worked for Northrop Grumman, they basically said, "You're leaving today, but we're going to pay you for the next 2 weeks." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
Look, I think the other problem I had with my other job was the guy I was supposed to be learning the most from was tragically born without a personality, and I just could not talk to him.
See, I have the opposite problem. I was born with multiple personalities.
You know, that's not a thing.
Those are called
My
moods.
sister is, one of my sisters is a psychologist, and I asked her about that one. She's like, "No, that's not a thing." Oh. Anyway.
Well, me and my imaginary friend disagree with you.
So, Sam, have you made progress on your build, or?
Yeah, what is Sam working on, by the way?
Oh, many things. Many things. I'm working on your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had some ideas today, and that tickled my fancy, and I
love that phrase.
What about my thing?
What thing?
Oh, I haven't opened that file yet, but it's in my to-do list today.
And I'm gonna look at that probably tomorrow.
Because this is what's getting me at Lego Titanic. So.
Okay, so you're in a rush.
Yeah, because I want. Ideally, I would love to have the Titanic for my birthday to do a stream.
When's your birthday?
November 24th.
I mean, I just meant the month. I didn't need the exact date. Okay.
I mean, I need everyone. I mean, I did a birthday stream last year, so.
Oh, okay.
That's right, you did, and I came.
Yeah,
I
you
came.
did.
The rest of y'all slackers didn't.
I didn't even know Space Time back then. Well, actually, no. I was aware of him, but I didn't know him personally.
His back.
I think he donated on one of my. Was it the Diagon Alley stream back then?
It was that or the Ecto one,
Yeah, those were good streams. They were fun.
and then there were the quarantine streams.
Well, the quarantine streams would have been before that, but yeah, that was on Greg's channel. Yeah.
Did he stream at 5 a.m. again today?
If he did, I missed it because honestly, I had the worst night last night. I just couldn't get to sleep, so I was up to gone 5 a.m. our time, and I eventually crashed a little after 6, and I didn't get up until gone 10. So our time, so I probably missed it. But yeah,
because I think it's 3 a.m. my time that he starts streaming.
it's normally about midday for us in the UK.
So it's like I'm either just getting home or going to bed, and he's starting to stream.
Oh, Jacob says yes, he did. So he did stream. So he's still keeping it going.
Who is this?
Greg from Brickatect.
Okay, I guess I don't know him.
He's been doing 5 a.m. streams like his time, which works out like a midday in the UK. So I think it's mostly a UK audience with some people from Australia, yeah, who are just like before they go to bed and stuff.
But he lives in Pennsylvania.
Oh, good old PA.
Yeah, he lives in Pennsylvania, so Spacetime immediately thinks they should be best friends, but Greg is just not having it. Like he just keeps on rejecting Spacetime. It's quite tragic. It's like the most ridiculous case of unrequited love I've ever seen.
Ouch.
Peter, did I tell you I went to my 20-year high school reunion a few weeks ago?
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, I actually drove up to where I grew up in Newbury, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And like where I graduated down in Bel Air, Maryland, it's grown, the economy's grown, tons of people have moved in. I went up to Newbury, it has not changed in 30 years.
It's
if I go back in 30 years, it's going to look exactly the same.
It's scary that you said 20 years since your high school. Like, that's mad. I mean, I can relate, but like, I don't know if you're a DC fan, but they had DC Fandom on the weekend, which was kind of like a virtual Comic-Con for DC stuff. And on there, they had a section where they were talking about it's been 20 years since Smallville started. And I was just like, what?
Batman Begins is coming up soon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of... I'm not really a fan of comic books, but I enjoy listening to people talk about things that they really love. So
that's cool.
Leave it at that.
But there was a Flash, not a trailer, and a Batman trailer as well.
The Batman trailer. Oh my god, that got me excited. I was watching on my laptop, and honestly, my laptop may have raised 8 or 9 inches.
Only 8 or not.
And yes, I did wait until Joe was drinking before I said that.
I think I'm really going to enjoy the actor playing the Penguin.
Oh, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Colin Farrell, but he's got like prosthetics on. Colin Farrell is a really underrated actor. He does not get.
He really is. He's a really good actor.
Like in the first Fantastic Beasts, he was fantastic, and I was really disappointed when he changed like into Johnny Depp. I wanted him to stay on as Grindelwald.
Did you hear, Craig? I pre-ordered all the sets for Double VIP.
Yeah, I told someone else to do that because in the States they were letting you pre-order them, but not here in the UK. It just says coming soon. But if you do a pre-order whilst it's double VIP, you get double VIP when it ships. And I was gonna do that, pre-order them, and for some reason UK just says coming soon.
I did it all except for the Technic set. I'm still. I'm still trying to decide.
I didn't assume that you got that. I thought you just meant the minifig sort of scale ones. Like, it's the 2 bikes, the Batmobile, and the Batcave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, conceptually, there is absolutely nothing new about the sets. Like, we've had a 2-bike set, we've had a Batmobile chasing down a villain set, and we've had a Batcave, similar sort of layout. But I do think they are still solid looking sets, and I particularly like the Batcave. I just think the Batcave is really overpriced. I feel like as cool as that is, it's going to be a disappointment to how little substance there is.
That's why I ordered it all together. So when it came to getting the Batcave, I'd be like, oh.
And I guess you won't have the same problem that you've had with the Eternal sets, where you just can't get the last one.
Yeah, well, I found the last one yet. I'm probably going to get it and build it on next week's stream.
Oh, okay.
And then
with the streams, are you going to stick to the earlier time slot, or are you going to go back?
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because everyone here at 12:30 seemed to be fine, but I can move it later.
Yeah, I mean, with me, it's just a case of if I'm working that day, I'm just not going to be able to make it. Whereas with the later ones, the latest I work my time is like 10 p.m. So
Right.
like before, when you were doing like 9:30, I'd maybe miss the first half hour if I was working on the late shift, you know?
So 9:30 would be like 2:30 my time.
I think so, yeah.
Sam, does 9:30 work better for you? Consistently?
Anytime after my dinner works better for me.
And if you guys like having me around, like I said, I got nothing much going on right now.
Yeah, Joe, we gotta get you on Discord, because that's just where we share links in one place, so we don't have to like message them out.
Okay.
Or at least that's what I do. I have a private server where I just post the link and anyone can join.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess Monday stream I'll schedule for 9:30 then.
Sounds good.
So 2:30 our time, Joe?
2:30 on Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. 2:30 Monday.
I might have a job by then.
Yeah.
No, probably not. Look, we're going to Disney World midway in November. So I'm like, why would I get a job before then?
Forget Disney World, get 2 Titanics.
Seriously. No, for that you could get like 16 Titanics.
I know, Disney World is notoriously expensive. I mean, I think
we did all this when we had 2 incomes.
Joe, are you going to Disneyland or Disney World?
We're going to Disney World.
Okay, so I went there back in, I want to say New Year's Eve, 2003. And I remember like day tickets, it was $50 per person.
I think it's more than that now, mate.
Yeah, so because right before COVID happened, I was supposed to have a work trip to LA. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Lego store. I'm going to go to Star Wars Experience or whatever. And I started looking at tickets. And I'm like, I'm going to spend $200 just to get in to go see the Star Wars thing, which I'm going to be doing at the end of my workday. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the latest Cali Bricklick podcast?
With Ryan?
Yeah, the second one with Ryan.
Yeah.
Because they talk about it a bit on there, and they were saying about like how expensive it is. Because Shai used to always get free entry because he knew basically about a dozen people who were cast members in Disney World, and now they all left like after or during the COVID, lockdown and stuff like that because they were treated badly and whatever. And he had a look at how much it would cost, and it just said it's ridiculous. But
I think he said like $1,000 a day for the family.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just to get in, and just to get into like one half of the park, I think as well. And Claire was saying that I feel like what they're doing now is they're angling more towards the annual tickets. Like it almost, if you go to like I think more than twice a year, or it's worth getting the annual one. I think.
So I mean that works great if you live there or close by. I'm just thinking of the scene. I'm just thinking of the scene from the first Jurassic Park of the lawyer after they see the first dinosaur.
We'll do a coupon day.
Yeah, he's like, "We're gonna make a fortune here." And they're like, and John Hammond's like, "These are not to make a profit, but these are here for all children of the world to enjoy."
He doesn't say they're not for profit. He says it's for everyone to enjoy, not just the obscenely wealthy. I think he says.
I was paraphrasing.
I don't think John Hammond ever said it's not for profit.
I was paraphrasing.
I mean, there's paraphrasing, and then there's just like putting words in the guy's mouth. I mean, come on, the actor's dead. Let's like not disrespect him that way.
And all I can think of is, do you guys remember the Tiny Toon Adventures movie?
No, I don't think I remember there was a movie.
Oh, it's How I Spent My Summer Vacation, where they're trying to. Plucky and Hampton are trying to get to Happy World Land.
Yes.
Happy World Land Happy World Land, where the fun doesn't stop at only $80 a pop. Like, you understand why that was funny? And knowing that that was in the early 90s, I'm like, $80? That's cheap.
Yeah. Oh, briefly, Jacob has asked DC or Marvel, which you guys like more overall?
I prefer not to choose, but if I had to, it would be Marvel then Batman.
Marvel then Batman.
Which universe does The Martian and or Apollo 13 take place in?
Reality.
Wait, what studio? Universal made those films, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I guess that'd be closer to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, maybe.
Look, like I said, I'm not a fan of comic books, but I have enjoyed the Marvel movies once I started thinking of them as a really long, very well-funded
TV show.
E-series.
Yeah.
Once I started thinking of them as that, I'm like, oh, I enjoy these more.
Yeah, the MCU is definitely box set cinema, and I mean that in both a good way and a bad way.
But The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
So, like, which is it that I like? I can't tell you.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's. I prefer not to choose.
Yeah, I'm not a comics fanboy. I take every movie at face value. Like Iron Man 2 sucked. Iron Man 1 I thought was pretty good.
I didn't think Iron Man 2 sucked. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but to say it sucked means basically that you haven't seen Iron Man 3.
And
that really sucked.
And this is where Craggle and I disagree a lot. I love Iron Man 3.
Yeah, but like I've explained to you, Iron Man 3 is kind of like a precursor to The Last Jedi, where you just throw out established lore and disrespect the fans just to get that shock value. I mean, I've never been a massive Iron Man guy in terms of the comics and stuff. Like, I know him mostly from the movies. My buddy is a huge Iron Man fan, and has been for years. And he was really excited to see how they were going to do the Mandarin. And the Mandarin in the comics is basically like Iron Man's Joker. So, spoilers for those who haven't seen Iron Man 3, but, it's been out years now. But he said the scene in Iron Man 3 with, is it Trevor Slattery?
Yeah.
Slattery.
Yeah, Slattery. He said it is basically the equivalent as if you were watching The Dark Knight and suddenly, halfway through, Bruce Wayne, not Batman, because remember, Iron Man at that point, he's not got the armor. He's just got a stock on his hand with some wires. He's just Tony Stark. Bruce Wayne goes into a mansion and finds the Joker is actually Heath Ledger, and he sits around drinking beer and making fart jokes.
I actually, again, not being a fan of Marvel, I actually thought that was a really cool, like, subversion of the norm. Like, okay, so maybe the Mandarin actually does exist somewhere, but this guy is subverting that actual villain.
Well, they only did that after the fact. They backtracked first of all with the film "Hail to the King," where they kind of said, "Oh, actually, the real Mandarin hasn't been revealed yet. We haven't just forgotten about it or messed it up." And then, of course, you got the Shang-Chi movie, which I haven't seen yet, but you know the Mandarin's in that. So
and I'm still waiting for you to see it because it's just like there's good stuff in there that I don't want to spoil that relates back to Iron Man 3.
Well, I tell you what, I saw friggin' Black Widow, and that was a pile of steam and done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, why are you sad, Jacob?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
I think it's just pure DC though. But we still love towards Batman. I love the animated series.
Oh, you know what? I love the animated series too.
Let's all be friends.
Yay!
Here's one of the things that I was like. Here's one of the things that I'm like.
Bro, friends, Joe, friends, they stay friends.
Oh, we're all good friends now, aren't we?
What the hell was that?
Oh, hello, Governor. How are you? Spotted you.
That is the worst
What is that?
I've ever heard in my life.
Deliberately bad. Okay, No.
Oh,
What
yeah, you say
incarnation?
that. That's like when you know you haven't put a good performance in the bed and you go, oh, that was deliberately bad.
No, that's actually from the podcast The Dollop, where one of them is really good at doing voices, the other one sucks at it. And so every once in a while they're talking about something that took place in England, and the one guy, Gareth, is doing a really spot on whatever accent it is, he can do it. And then the other guy just sits there and goes,
Hello, governor.
I do know that a lot of American actors get frustrated at how hard it is to do what you call a British accent, whereas
I think
completely understanding that there are dozens of them.
Yeah. Whereas like a lot of American actors say they can't do that, but then the British actors come over and they do the American accents, and a lot of people don't even realize they're British, Like look, Hugh Laurie.
Because the
Hugh
difference
Laurie, David
between
Tennant.
actors, the difference between British actors and American actors, are British actors usually have gone through a lot of school to get where they are. American actors are like,
I got big boobies and I support actress.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, because I'm not going to say that British actors are better, because some of my favorite actors are American.
Right.
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. But there definitely is a thing where I find that European actors, and not even just British ones, are better at mimicking accents than American. I find American can't really do accents outside their own country. It's very rare to hear an American actor do a good foreign accent.
Yeah, and
Have you heard of Dick Van Dyke?
That guy is a national treasure, but yeah.
oh boy. Anyway, what I was going to say was, I think that is one of those indicators that I think I've grown up. When someone asks me, "Oh, are you a DC or Marvel fan?" I go, "I'm not a fan of either, but I appreciate that you're a fan of X." Instead of me going, "Oh, all comic books suck. I hate comic books."
Yeah.
There's a difference.
The thing is, I honestly think that if you hear someone who's really passionate talking about something, even if you're not particularly into it, if they're really enthusiastic and genuine, it can be infectious. You can get a kick out of it, even if you're not invested in what they're actually talking about.
And I kind of want to hear about it. I want to be like, what? Like, I don't understand. I don't like, what is his name? Aquaman. I think that's the dumbest idea on the planet. But I want to know why you like Aquaman.
I want to know. I like Aquaman because he's sexy. Wait, what? Who said that?
Huh? Do
Jason
I now?
Momoa, why wouldn't you like him?
Uh-oh. Craggle.
Oh man! Honestly, we met Jason Momoa when he had just been cast as Aquaman before even Batman v Superman came out, and I wanted to meet him because of Khal Drogo. And
What is happening?
what's happening? I don't know. I feel like space time is sabotaging my speech. And the Mrs. Craggle wanted to meet him because he was in Stargate Atlantis. And he was one of the nicest people you could possibly hope to meet. He was really friendly. He wanted to hear you talk and stuff.
I was going to say he was also in Star Trek Voyager, but no, that was The Rock. The Rock was in Star Trek Voyager.
This is honestly, I'm seeing now how racist you and Spacetime are. Brian Blessed has to be the same as John Rhys Davis. The Rock is the same as Jason Momoa.
Well, hang on a sec. Are we dissing The Rock?
No
one disses The
Oh,
Rock.
heavens, no.
I was going to say, there's one person you don't want to take the piss out of, and it is The Rock.
It
I
is
love The Rock.
And Vin Diesel, you can say what you want, but he plays D&D, so I respect that.
Vin Diesel, I just love the fact that in the Fast and the Furious, the first Fast 5 film, the first film that had The Rock in it, and honestly, it was the first Fast and Furious movie I liked. Not just because The Rock was in it, but also because they kind of changed it. But I love the fact you have a fight between Vin Diesel and The Rock. And because it's a Vin Diesel movie primarily, he wins the fight. And you just look at it and you're like, I'm not being funny. Vin Diesel, particularly at that point in his life, was quite chubby. The The Rock is just honestly, he's just made of like cybernetic muscle that's this iron or something. He would just go over and pinky flick Vin Diesel in the forehead and he would turn to gravel.
Well,
I'll tell
do
you
know
what.
that is in their contract that if they are in a fight together, neither of them can lose. So
yeah, it was a draw, but it was like, you know, Vin Diesel got away, so it's kind of like, you know, yeah.
Rock for president 2024.
I would take a brain dead monkey over. You know what? Let's not go there.
I'm going to say, didn't you have that?
Over what I
had that
just
already.
survived in the last few years. Okay,
No, the brain dead monkey would do a better job.
that's what I'm saying.
I honestly feel like you Americans let the world down by not having Arnold Schwarzenegger as president. You know, you cock-teased us with Demolition Man, and then you just didn't deliver.
Yeah.
You and your damn
Sorry.
citizenship rules.
Yeah, let me get on that, Craggle. Let me.
Yes, The Rock is Black Adam. He has been trying to. In all fairness, he's a big comic book fan, and he loves the character of Black Adam. And he's been trying to get that movie made since before Man of Steel came out. So I'm really, really hyped to see the finished thing when it comes out. I think next year. But yeah, that's going to be a good movie.
There's some crazy women thirsting over Jason Momoa in the comments.
You
I thought
blame
you were
them?
about to say thirsting over Joe, and I was like, yeah, I know.
Thirsting over Joe.
No one.
You just can't help it, can you, mate?
There has
Isn't it
been
funny
one
though how
woman-
thirsting is okay if you're a woman, but if you're a guy, you're misogynistic.
I don't know.
Do you know what? We don't write the rules, Craggle.
We didn't start the fire. Sorry.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs by the bard William Jewell.
William Joe.
Actually, that's my go-to karaoke song because I have it memorized.
Okay. That reminds me of anytime someone says, I'm going to go to Jimmy John's for a sub, I'm like, oh, call him by his Christian name. It's James Jonathans.
I thought it was Jimothy Jonathan. Jimothy.
Jonathans.
Oh my word! What has this stream become?
Absolute chaos, and I love it.
Speaking of Jimothy, how about we're finally getting The Office and Lego?
I know, but it's the American Office.
I know, the good one.
Great. I didn't like either.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was never a massive fan of the UK Office. I liked it, but I always thought Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant creation extra was better. But that's probably because I can relate to that because I literally was an extra for a few years and I've worked on TV and film sets. But you know, as it's gone on though, and they've moved on to other things, I genuinely feel that Ricky Gervais honestly kind of like became famous on the coattails of Stephen Merchant. I feel like Stephen Merchant was the true power behind the throne. Because you look at what Ricky Gervais has done on his own back since, and it's all just crap. It is just crap. The Invention of Lying, crap. Ghost Town, crap. His own stand-up, crap. If there's one word I could use to describe Ricky Gervais, you know what it would be? Rubbish.
Rubbish.
But Craggle, tell me how you really feel.
Tell me how I what?
Really feel. Tell me how you really feel. Oh.
No, well, I am excited for everyone because obviously, you know, this set is going to sell because there's such a big fan base for The Office, the American one, because it went on for like, what was it, 8 or 9 seasons?
I've already calculated that guy is going to make $500,000 at least in his share of the profit.
The sad thing is, though, is that it's what the 4th or 5th Office project to reach 10,000. I just feel sad for those who missed out because of like, you know, either
He
Lego
was
didn't
the
want to do
original
it.
one,
or-
though, I thought.
Huh?
He was the original one. Like, this is his 3rd time up at 10,000.
Is it? I thought there's been about 4 or 5 different ones.
I mean, there's been different like copycats, but he's like the OG who keeps doing it.
The
He just won't give up.
We're gonna
He's
give
the
you-
OG, man.
I guess
yeah. This idea set would be perfect for a minifigure series as well, because it's like they need like 16 figures in that set.
I don't think minifigure series would sell. I don't think it's mainstream enough, particularly with Lego's core demographic, to do a minifigure series.
I'll agree with that as well. I'm just saying it needs it.
Do you know what we do need though? We need a Lego Cobra Kai series. And
Do you know what we need? A Lego Cobra Kai mock of someone's dojo. I'm sure someone around here was making one of those.
yeah. And do you know what else I need when I've got these here? Is I need a Lego Doctor Who Cyberman helmet as well. So, you know.
Well, you've got the parts to make one there. If only you had some instructions, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Crazy idea.
Yeah, that was my shameless self-promotion joke because I did a Lego Cobra Kai minifigure series video.
Sam, did you design a Cyberman helmet?
The thing was, though, Space Time, the one that you were doing was looking good, and it didn't feel like it was that far off from being finished.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm kind of proud. I just finished one last night, so this might be a new leaf for me to go back and finish stuff that I started.
Oh, by the way, I did look, and the offer on that Ecto one is gone now. Sorry, it was down to 114.74, which I think is normally 150. Is it? Great British pounds, I mean.
Yeah, I mean it's a $200 set.
What on earth was that?
I don't know. You said Great Britain pounds, and I'm like, I gotta Americanize that some way. Oh, that's right. Make it loud and obnoxious. GBP.
Oh, it's 180 actually over here. So 180 down to 114.74 is fantastic. Yeah, missed out on that.
Oh yeah, this helmet is looking kind of good. That has a good face.
Yeah.
Just open up the project file again.
See,
Maybe we have had some success here, Craggle.
I know. Like, maybe positive reinforcement is the way forward rather than bullying. Who would have guessed it?
It's a crazy idea.
I highly doubt it.
I'm studying the effect of negative reinforcement on ESP ability. The effect? I tell you the effect, it's pissing me off! You can keep the $5. I will this time.
Can you believe they're finally making a third Ghostbusters film?
Yeah.
Stand by.
It's been made
Stand by.
since last year.
Wait. Rewind. Third?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and now Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Huh.
That 2016 or 2017 one didn't happen.
2016.
Wait, what?
Okay. All right.
It's so bad that they renamed it on home media as well.
Are you talking about the video game?
They changed it to Ghostbusters Answer the Call because so many people were kicking off that when they searched Ghostbusters, it came up with that.
Answer the call.
Just like what was that movie? Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Live Die Repeat.
Renamed it Live Die Repeat.
Yeah. But because on the poster in the UK at least, it was Live Die Repeat in massive text and an entire little writing, Edge of Tomorrow. So everyone was calling it Live Die Repeat, you know?
Yep. They're making a prequel / alternate timeline movie.
The Sacred
Apparently.
Timeline.
Yeah. Here's a question for you that I was thinking about, and I say this as someone who actually does watch and enjoy most of his movies. But why the hell is Tom Cruise considered attractive?
I don't know. He's as old as my parents, and I don't know. He's running as fast as he can away from death.
I think it's because the computer smooths his face down a lot.
Yeah.
Have you seen the photo of him at a baseball game or basketball game recently?
No.
Oh, you should search it.
Oh yeah, they reckon it's deep fake, don't they?
I don't
Yeah,
think it's
his
deep.
face just looks so weird that they reckon they may have used like some sort of deep fake or something.
Yeah.
It's the
But honestly,
Scientology.
even in his youth, he has a nose that looks like the bumper on the end of a pickup truck. He's got little beady eyes. His face is the wrong shape.
Maybe there's something more of the beauty than just physical appearance.
He's like 4 feet tall. I get that, but why everyone goes, he's a heartthrob, he's so gorgeous. Like,
It's
no,
the attitude.
he's definitely a watchable actor. I like a lot of his movies, but I don't get why he's considered attractive.
It's his attitude and suave and
And also, half the time when he is acting, one thing that does annoy me is he constantly looks like he's about to sneeze.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Like, he's about to sneeze, but he's not quite sure. He's like, am I going to sneeze?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's settle this the easy way. Ladies in the stream, in the comments,
Uh-oh. Here we
Jason Momoa
go. Uh-oh.
or Tom Cruise?
Oh my god.
Oh.
I
Go.
know.
I know where it's going,
Yeah.
but just to be 100% sure.
Again, before you answer, remember, he's as old as my retired parents. Okay?
I mean, I like a lot of Tom Cruise films, so I'd say that.
I do. I again, Edge of
like
Tomorrow.
Mission Impossible 2 is my favorite.
And there you go.
Nobody
I
has ever said the phrase Mission Impossible 2 is my favorite.
There you
There
go.
we go, Mrs. Craggle.
Yeah.
Okay, Lady Sam.
And I can understand that. As a heterosexual male, I can completely understand that. Tom Cruise, I just don't get.
I would, yeah. If I was choosing, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I was
The only upside I can see to dating Tom Cruise is that he could probably do an Australian kiss without bending his knees.
Dear Lord.
In fact, he probably would need a little step ladder to get that.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, you love it, really.
Have you seen how short he is? He's like
Yeah,
he's
that's
like when he was on Family Guy, he was like no taller than Stewie.
Yeah, I love that. I honestly thought that was him, though. When I was watching it, I was like, fair play. I got a lot of respect for Tom Cruise doing this. And then I found out it wasn't him. It was a sound-alike. But, man, they got a good sound-alike for that.
Yeah, there's no way you would do that.
Well, I don't know. They've had people on there take the mick out themselves before. But
I know, just Tom Cruise wouldn't do that.
no. Well, there's the whole thing. Do you remember when someone sprayed water in his face?
What?
Oh, it was a few years back at a premiere. Someone had a little water gun. They sprayed in his face. And, yeah, I can imagine the knee-jerk reaction be like, what the hell? What are you doing? But he proper went overboard about it. Like, just dismantle this guy. Like, stop the whole premiere, like, red carpet event just to sort of, like, tell this guy off.
He landed his helicopter in a field near Coventry Airport, where I used to live a couple of weeks ago.
oh, did he?
How dare he?
Yeah, because the airport was closed, he said, I just landed in this field here. You can't do that, mate. You can bring another airport 20 miles down the road, go there.
It would be really funny if he landed at the airport and then a cow come over and just stepped on him.
As a pilot, I can tell you, if it's an emergency landing, you can land anywhere.
Oh, it wasn't. It just wanted to be close because that's where his car was.
Okay.
I forgot we have Joe Sully Chambers here.
Joe knows things. Don't mess with Joe.
I remember.
Oh yeah, he did. He interrupted the wedding. I remember that. Yeah.
Huh?
Tom Cruise interrupted the wedding.
Oh.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I remember reading something about that. And then he took pictures with the bride and groom, didn't he?
Yeah, to make up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Wow.
remember that.
That was so hard of him to do. Posing for a
Crazy.
Yeah. Didn't give any money to say sorry. Just like, oh, you can have a photograph with me instead.
I'm like, why would I want that?
Why would I want that?
I mean,
I'd rather just have the 20 minutes of interruption back, please, pals. That's just cost me like $1,000.
well, the thing is, everyone wondered why they didn't have all the wedding guests in there, but they had to form a human pyramid so he could stand on to be in line with the bride and groom.
Get Uncle Steve over here. Let him stand on top of Steve.
I just love how we just started bashing on Tom Cruise.
I can't remember. It's fun though. Although I will say, one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies is Minority Report.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good movie. And
I like that, yeah.
Colin Farrell's in that as well. I think that was actually one of the first big American roles he had, was it?
I'm having a hard time coming up with another bad Tom Cruise. Oh, The Mummy. That's
the
my
Mummy
favorite.
was dreadful. Oh my god, that was
That's
so
my second
bad.
favorite Tom Cruise movie.
That is so bad. I love the fact that Universal was so sure that they were going to do this shared universe that they cast Johnny Depp and Javier Bardem and did like photographs of all of them together. They did one film and it failed and just scrapped everything.
I just these whole like we're gonna start a cinematic universe with this IP. Like they just
Universal Monsters.
what?
I mean, I quite like the idea of having Universal Monsters all in one universe and having like a Shield-like organization that is trying to, you know, manage and control it. It sounds like an interesting concept, but the execution was done dreadfully. And the worst thing was, when I was watching Tom Cruise's The Mummy, I just couldn't help think that they were ripping off American Werewolf in London. You know, the way he keeps on seeing his dead friend all the time popping up and giving him advice. It's American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And then the actual good bits of Tom Cruise's The Mummy were just ripped from the Brendan Fraser movie, which just made me want to watch a better movie.
I remember that. It's not a good movie, but it's a good movie.
I mean, Brendan Fraser movie from the 90s. That's a superb. It's a fantastic popcorn flick.
Groundbreaking CGI.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what? Someone described it as Raiders of the Lost Ark meets the Terminator, and it is absolutely that.
It is pure 90s schlock, and it's beautiful.
I feel like you're giving a very double-edged compliment there, and I don't like it.
You know, Independence Day, one of my favorite movies. It's not a good movie.
Well, that's not a good movie, no. But The Mummy is it's a well-crafted movie, The Mummy. Independence Day is just Independence Day. You know?
Yeah.
I know Space Time holds that movie in such high regard that he has, like, Jeff Goldblum's face tattooed on his left butt cheek, you know? And on his right butt cheek it says, "Welcome to Earth." I did tell him that line came from most of
It was Must Go Faster.
Let's go faster.
Which is so weird because he was quoting himself from another movie.
Yep. Apparently, he really didn't want to do it, and the director Roland Emmerich just kept on saying, "You have to say this line." He did it under protest.
That's so weird. Roland Emmerich is so weird.
But he did Stargate, though.
That's about the only good role in
And then he also hates Stargate SG-1, so I you know. It's funny because he did The Day After Tomorrow, which the first half is fantastic, and then it just goes massively downhill. And that was advertised as what happens after the end of the world. And that is entirely not what the film is about. And even then, at the end, it's only the end of the Northern Hemisphere. So then he did 2012, and he said, and I remember him actually saying, this is the makeup for The Day After Tomorrow. And 2012 is a worse film.
I never saw it.
Well, yo, mate,
I went to the theaters, and we laughed so hard at 2012.
Yeah, people were laughing when we saw it in the cinema. It did not get the right reaction.
I just remember that movie coming out, and I'm like, I am already tired of the crazies around me actually believing the world is going to end in 2012.
Yeah.
Sounds like the world did end.
I know, Space Time is so disrespectful.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it, Jacob. I would not watch the Tom Cruise Mummy film. It is terrible.
Okay. So, Lego, huh?
And if you want to think of bad British accents, you want to hear Russell Crowe doing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh,
That scene was so painful.
or what was it? The one where Keanu Reeves played
Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes, that is so bad.
And it's just like, oh, you can't do that accent. I can't
Honestly,
do that accent, but you can't do that accent.
Under normal circumstances, I want to have a bad word said against Keanu Reeves because he is absolute. Can I say Keanu Reeves even? Because he is just the nicest person on the planet, and I love his movies. But in Bram Stoker's Dracula, you can say whatever you want because not only is his accent bad, but his acting is atrocious. And I know people say he's wooden, but it works in his style works in most films he's in, not in that movie. Not when you're up against Gary Oldman. The only thing in that movie that has going for him is that he makes a cute couple with Winona Ryder. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you for it, Sam.
I would have made a cute couple with Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
What?
Isn't it funny though, if you think back into the 90s, that the media destroyed Winona Ryder's career because she had mental health issues, and yet no one talks about it.
Really?
Well, she had a mental breakdown and she got done for shoplifting, and rather than anyone giving her help and stuff, the media crucified her and she couldn't get a role in anything for ages. It's only in the last few years really that she started actually having roles again. Like when she was cast in Star Trek, people were kicking off saying she shouldn't be allowed to be in this film because she shoplifted.
She was in Star Trek?
The 2009 one. She was Spock's mum.
Yeah,
That's right.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of don't count J.J. Abrams' film work as anything.
But they had to cut most of her scenes out, and apparently a lot of it was because the studio didn't feel comfortable putting her in because they thought the people wouldn't like her because everyone associated her as being this horrible person.
Let's be honest. It's probably better that she isn't horribly associated with that movie because it wasn't a good movie.
I like it.
I hate
I like it because it's more Star Wars than the Disney Star Wars film.
Right. Star Trek 09 is a bad script, but a good movie because it had a good direction.
Okay.
I don't even know it was a bad script. I feel like it's a passing of the torch. It's done very cleverly.
When I say bad script, I mean a bad Star Trek script.
Yes, a bad Star Trek script.
It's a generic action movie.
It felt more Michael Bay than Star Trek. And that's why when people are like, oh, J.J. Abrams will do great with Star Wars. I'm like, no, he's going to turn it into Star Trek 2009. He's going to pretend that he understands the characters and everything that happens in Star Wars. And then he's just going to turn it into a dumb action flick.
I feel
he did.
The primary focus of 2009 Star Trek was kind of soft reboots and it passing on to this new, generation, if you will. And I think he did that well. I feel like that film would have been more fondly looked upon if Star Trek Into Darkness wasn't so terribly a rip-off of Wrath of Khan that it was. If you had put Star Trek Beyond after Star Trek 09, I think people would have looked at it more fondly.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond's my favorite.
Star Trek Beyond is fantastic.
I haven't seen it yet, and I really want to.
Do you know what's great about it? Is that it feels like an old Star Trek episode on a big budget.
Cool. Simon Pegg did a really good job researching and writing.
Yeah, and it's honestly a massive injustice that Star Trek Beyond flopped the box office and they scrapped any plans to do a follow-up.
It was so funny, watching it the first time, and then in the climax, we find out Jayla, she really likes the rock music. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And in the climax, you start hearing the Beastie Boys song coming up again from the first movie. I'm like, oh no. But then I'm like, I like this.
So everyone I've talked to said that it redeemed the scene from the first Star Trek movie because it worked. It shouldn't work on paper. It should not work. I won't say it because Joe hasn't seen that thing, but there's a scene that absolutely, if I was to describe it to you, you would go, "That's the biggest pile of crap ever." But
This is what I've heard. I've heard this exactly.
In the movie, it is so well done that you cannot not get caught up in it. It's fantastically done.
And honestly,
you haven't seen Star Trek Beyond?
I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. So I might do that this weekend or something.
Yeah, please do. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and that Beastie Boys song, probably one of my favorite Beastie Boys songs. Probably one of my favorite songs from the 90s.
It's definitely, I think, their most recognizable song, isn't it?
Maybe that or Intergalactic.
Yeah. I'm just thinking from a more mainstream, ear. I think that one's probably.
I knew it. I knew someone would bring that. I knew it.
They always played on the Bob FM here.
You have a radio station called Bob FM?
Yeah, he plays anything.
Is he called Bob?
Yeah.
Is he a goldfish?
No.
Nobody knows what he looks like. It's the radio, God damn it.
Must have a face for radio then.
I mean,
hey, isn't this supposed to be about Lego?
Jacob says that he liked Star Trek Into Darkness because of all the callbacks to the original. I feel like that's what brought the film down, because it was just like, hey, remember that scene that you love from Wrath of Khan? Here's a slightly worse version of it.
Yeah. And then when they confront Khan, or for the first time, and he reveals he's Khan, it's shot in a way like, it's like, like Kirk and Spock should be like, oh my goodness, it's Khan. And it's like,
they wouldn't know who he is.
They wouldn't know who he was, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, whilst I loved how they used, Leonard Nimoy as Spock Prime in 2009, I was worried they were going to do this exact thing where, hey, you're Spock from the future. Can you give us any hints on what episode we're in now? When they call him up mid-movie and go, "Hey, Spock Prime, I think I'm in Wrath of Khan. Got any tips?"
Yeah, for me, I remember sitting at my old work in the military at the time when that film came out. I said to one of my mates, I said, "I'm not going to see it," and he goes, "Why not?" I said, "It is just blatantly going to be a rip-off of Wrath of Khan." But everything's just going to be inverted because it's a different universe.
I just
love how the whole point of them doing the 2009 movie the way they did, it was they wanted to tell more stories with the original characters, but they didn't want to, overwrite the existing timeline. They didn't want to do a prequel. So, hey, let's do an alternate universe. And then what do? You literally just do the exact same story in the next installment. It was so stupid.
Correct. And that's what put me off of watching Into Darkness, but Beyond, loved it.
Yeah, Beyond was fantastic. Although I will say, linking back into The Mummy, the scene where he says, "I am Khan," honestly, I thought he was doing an impression of The Mummy where his jaw just goes down to his knees. Because it can't be right. He must have had surgery to readjust his jaw after that take, because that's mental.
I know. I got I pulled a muscle in my jaw when I tried to replicate it.
Yeah.
I think Star Trek 2009 lost me with the voiceover of Spock going, "In my time, a supernova exploded and threatened to destroy the galaxy." And I'm like, okay, I'm out. There are so many things. There are so many things wrong with that.
He was speaking metaphorically. With that supernova destroying Romulus, it would have sent the political balance of power in the quadrant into chaos.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but it's also
a massive plot hole.
She who wrote it, so it was the idiotic choice.
Yeah, I know.
There's also the massive plot hole because the fact they had to cut out, I think, an extra 20 minutes. And in all fairness, if it wasn't a film, it would be too convoluted and it would be terrible pacing-wise. But the reason why Nero does nothing for 20 odd years is apparently
he was in a Klingon prison.
Yeah, he's in a Romulan prison because when rams the ship, it temporarily
Klingon prison.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, but why then didn't his captors take his ship and use the advanced weaponry and the whole red matter and be used in the last 20 years?
Red matter. Oh gosh, Kirkman and Ortiz suck at writing.
But do you know what I quite like about it? If you've ever played the Star Trek Online MMORPG game, they do a lot. They do a lot to try and correct and give more background to some of the Star Trek 2009 stuff.
If that's what you have to do, you wrote a bad movie.
Exactly. Right? If an online game is having to correct you, then you've done something wrong.
Or like, sorry,
I think Mrs. Crack was corrected.
Like,
It's not a Star Trek movie. It's a drinking game. Drink every time there's a lens flare.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, on the bridge of the Apple Store.
Yeah, the bridge of the Apple Store.
the USS Apple Store, or in The Force Awakens. Do you notice that the entire plot of them trying to find Luke Skywalker is solved at the end when R2-D2 randomly wakes up?
That is mad.
None of the rest of the movie matters one bit.
Like he has the rest of the pieces, yeah, but it's never explained why he wakes up now.
Yep. It is completely unrelated.
What annoys me most is that when they first said that Luke had gone away and that his generation of Jedi had been destroyed, I was disappointed because I wanted it to be like the books where he has a Jedi Academy, he has a whole new generation of Jedi Knights. But what they got me on in The Force Awakens was when he said he went looking for the first Jedi Temple. So I was like, "Oh, this is cool." When when she landed, then you had that amazing score by John Williams. I was like, he's there for a reason. He's not run away. He's looking for like some ancient knowledge or something of the original Jedi Order. And then what they do in The Last Jedi? No, I came here to die.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. Let's not go there, Craggle. I know we have differing opinions on the Last Jedi, so
Well, what you expect from a guy who compensates by building lots of like space dildos.
That's more of a bad man.
No, I take it back. Scott has the biggest space dildos.
Yeah, his is.
I will never build one that big.
You say that, but I know in your head you want to build a big Skylab like that or a big LUT. I know you.
Shut your goddamn mouth right now, Jeremy.
I know what you're thinking, Joe.
I have a family to feed.
I haven't seen Scott since July.
Shut your goddamn mouth. Yeah, neither have I.
Is he okay?
He's okay. He's actually driving through Utah tomorrow. And he said, "Hey, can I stop by and say hi?" And I said, "Sure, man, come on over." And then he texted back. He's like, "Never mind, I'm going to be stopping in Provo." And I'm like, "I'm not going down to Provo."
Is it one of those things where like someone says, "Oh, we'll have to meet up next week," and you're like, "Yeah, I'm free," and you're like, "Oh, actually, I'm not." And they just said to make you feel better.
For you to come over, Scott. For you folks in the UK, Provo is where Brigham Young University is. And I don't go down there.
I don't
Only the people know. Brigham Young.
By the way, one of my channel members apparently shared the link and said that counted. It does not count sharing the link on a live stream that everyone here already knows about the video.
What video?
Oh, what?
What video?
I don't think it even comes through because I think only mods can share links. But Jacob has put a screenshot on my Discord of him sharing the Cobra Kai video in this chat. That does not count. I am discounting that. Sam still has yet to make an entry yet.
Oh, I shared your video on my community page, which I now have.
Yeah, but you're not a channel member.
Oh. Well, I was just saying I shared something of yours. I'm sorry.
There's a competition on my Discord for my channel members, but you're not a channel member, so you don't get to enter.
I I wasn't going to enter. I was just doing something nice.
So here's something I want to discuss. Peter and Craggle, I think we were talking a little while ago about making some tutorials on how to use Studio Instruction Maker. Were either of you interested in actually doing that?
I think Space-Time was mainly the one who's going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was somewhat ambitious on doing the studio stuff, but the development team never got back to me.
Gotcha.
So I was like,
didn't they originally say yes, and then when you tried to actually pin them down on some details, they just didn't get back to you?
yeah. So the PR team said yes, and then the development team never responded.
Oh.
So if you're watching, studio development team, F you.
Yes, because they're going to be watching this stream that has been very literally about Lego.
And I have a few other reasons to say F you.
What do you mean? Look, Joe's got the biggest Lego Star Wars set ever on display. I've got 2 sets, and I've got a custom mock. Space-Time wall is littered with Lego. The only one who's not represented is you, Mr. Sam Jones. And there you have it. It's definitely a Lego thing. Wait, is that... Are you making... Where is it? Oh, where are you now?
What? The 1x4 curved brick?
Yeah, is that what you're
That's
making?
what I saw, too.
Oh, what?
The 1x4 curved slope.
No.
That's what it looks like.
Where the hell
It is, in fact, individual pieces.
I can't even
What are you working on, Sam?
Something for one of the motorsport series I work with.
Okay.
I thought it was one of these in black that you were making.
Oh, hang on a sec. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
No, so I'm working on revising my LUT instructions right now. It is hilarious looking back on what I thought were acceptable things to have in instructions. But like, if I do something like create a new submodel in the middle of 420 something odd steps here, it will reformat everything after that. Like,
yeah,
destroy things. I'm like, why?
Yeah. And it's like, the reason of doing the tutorial video was to learn more about the inner workings of Studio and trying to have a good online resource for people to do things the right way.
That was one of the things I found with doing the Stargate instructions. A lot of it is rinse and repeat.
Yep.
And Craggle will attest to that. When you're actually building the Stargate, it's very much 7 lots of this, or 9 lots of that, or 9 of this. And
Yeah,
I was able to get most of it onto one page. Like you've always said to me, Joe, if you're doing stuff like that, it's easier just to put it on one page and just say, "There's the 6 steps. Crack on, folks." But then you'd end up going, a proper struggle. I get them on, and then you go, I just adjust that one because actually I can get that into 4 steps and not 5 or something like that. And then boom, throws everything out, and you just say, "What up?"
Which is why I have taken to saving repeatedly, but amending the name of the file every time before I do anything. I will save it. For for instance, this is I'm working on LUT part 3 of the 9 parts. So it's saved as LUT lower part version 4.5 J. The next one is going to be version 4.5 K L M N.
See, well, I know what you
letters, I just start appending that. So A, B, A, C. And
I normally put the date on there afterwards, so I know that's the one that I worked on that date. But yeah, not so much with that. But if I'm doing editing a video and I want to try something out, but I'm not sure, so I'll just save a copy with the date on there. But I feel a bit bad now because I gave Sam some feedback on his instructions, and I thought it'd be quite easy to amend. And now I'm finding out that he probably had like a small hernia over it.
Mate, it's not you. Your feedback was spot on to get, like you said before, get them to a professional standard. But it's not as easy as just, oh yeah, there's bricks. It'll just sort itself out, because it really fights you sometimes, and it really kicks you.
So
when you're down and you're there going, why do you hate me?
I hate broken life.
If I'm moving a submodel from one part of the instructions to the other, I will go and I will release the submodel, copy or take those parts, put them in a different part of the in the instructions, then recreate the submodel. Because if you move a submodel, it screws up everything in between.
I'll tell you, my experience with Studio is very limited, and I've started dabbling with it for my custom CMF videos. Mm-hmm. And one thing that baffles me is where they chose to put the pivot points on some pieces, particularly with minifigure parts. Like when you're trying to rotate something, and it's like, why is that there? Or do you know how you can use like the magnet?
Yeah, because it's like I don't move anything on figures until I have everything placed that I want.
Yeah,
because you got to. It's just it's weird.
I just realized I'm not even talking about Studio. I'm talking about Mecha Bricks. Oh well.
Well, Studio has a similar issue as well.
No, it does have a similar issue because I actually I did use Studio before. Did I use Studio? No, I used. No, I am.
You cannot rotate a minifig arm without in Studio without it coming out of the socket.
Yeah, that's the same as in Mecha. Yeah, I mean, I used Lego Digital Designer a long time ago to do one.
Oh, so did I.
Or maybe it's vice versa. I think you can move the figure arm in Studio; it'll stay on socket, but Mecha, it's messed up.
Yeah, Mecha, you definitely can't.
Sam, can I share my screen for a second?
Of course.
So this is the model that that Joe and Sam have volunteered to critique design and make things better. But and this is why I wanted to get your input in before I start making instructions, because it's like I just want to do the instructions once.
I hear you, but good luck with that.
Yeah.
But, each building is a submodel, and then everything else is loose because I imagine the base is what's going to be changing the most. Mm-hmm. So it should be somewhat easy for you guys to work through.
I've been to that stadium.
Yeah.
Scott took me there.
You spelled Boise wrong. It's Boyce.
No. It's supposed to be Beyonce.
And these are supposed to be hot air balloons from the Balloon Festival, so you can have them on the model or you can take them off.
So, okay.
I mean, it looks nice, man.
Yeah.
I looking at it now, I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be a little bit bigger than what I thought.
I have one critique. If you build houses this small, who's going to live in them?
All right, thanks, Zoolander.
And if you remember what film that's from, you're a legend.
I don't want to sound dirty.
Is this a school for ants?
Can you show me the undercarriage?
So I think we're
show me that undercarriage, yo.
I
let me have a look at that underside.
I thought we were talking about Flintstones.
Yeah, Flintstones.
Really?
Yeah, Flintstones.
I thought it was Zoolander.
So here, I know there can be some cost saving.
Yeah.
It looked like black was pretty cheap, so I just went with that right now. But the currently last night before I sent it to you guys, the cost was at $190.
Whoa.
I got it down to $101.
So if you go over to those lists on the right and click on price,
that's
right
what
there.
I was doing.
Yeah, that'll show you.
Yeah.
So this trans blue brick is $6. There's only 2 of them, and I kind of want to keep them.
Holy God! Okay.
Yeah.
Are you set on medium blue? Could you not have clear?
I wanted the blue just as an artistic choice, just so the building looked. So it's
Okay, that's fine.
So how about that in 1x1 plates?
I played with that.
Because
Let me see.
we all know how many plates make up a brick.
It's 4, right?
3, isn't it?
Oh god.
Joke. I thought I was using the 1x1 somewhere.
Okay.
I thought it was in the river.
Yeah, because I have experience with $6 a part. Where is it? I found one of these at Bricks and Minifigs, and I'm like, gentlemen, you don't know what you have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there it is. So it's 17 cents. So
Okay.
instead of a
I would
$6,
replace those 2 bricks with those plates. To be honest,
I think I will do it in the actual part that I sell, but the
Mhm.
one I'm going to make for myself, I think I'll splurge.
And do
Gotcha.
you know what? That's something
That's
I've done as well. I'll splurge on the more expensive stuff because I want it to look awesome, but everybody else gets cheap knockoffs. I mean,
No, I just wanna
gets
make sure-
But
I
to be
just
honest,
wanna
those
make
bricks are
sure-
going right there.
Okay.
So
I just want to make sure splurge means the same thing in the UK.
make it rain,
I
mate.
mean, a great
Yeah.
deal of things some consider to be unnatural.
Say that again.
I
So
said splurge can mean a great deal of things some consider to be unnatural.
So this is the
Oh
question.
yeah, I want to splurge on that one. Anyway, go ahead.
What would you guys charge for instructions for this? And what would you charge if you had the complete set that you had to
Ooh, echo.
do yourself?
Oh,
Because
So
it's going to be
I judge instructions by how much I've spent on, much time I've spent on them. So
Yeah.
Joe spends years on his instructions,
literally.
and that's why they are what they are.
Do you think $20 is too much?
I think so.
What would you think?
But for this, yes.
I'm asking what's your opinion.
What, for the instructions?
Yeah.
I would
Well,
say
it all depends on how good you make them look as well, to be honest.
I'm going to spend the time and do it.
think about it though. You can price it, a bit more expensive. Think that's your worth, but then people are less likely to buy it. Whereas you price it a bit cheaper and you sell more, you make more profit.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm just asking, what would you pay for instructions?
I would say comfortably about $8 to $9.99 for something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say be somewhere between $5 and $10 would actually
Okay.
be.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Now, if I also offer the option of buying this as a kit, what would you be willing to pay on this as a consumer, not knowing how much the brick costs?
How much is the average Lego Architect set?
They can range from 50 to 100.
It's about the same over here, isn't it, Cryle?
I don't know. I haven't really got. The only one I've got is the Lego house one, so it's not really my.
Oh Jesus, 240.
I think most of them over here are either 79 or 84 or 80,
wow.
even 89.
89. There are some lower ones. I mean, the ones about that size, looking on here, are about 45.
Yeah.
If you look at the San Francisco, New York, Paris, London, Tokyo, Dubai, yeah, they're all about 45 to 55.
Yeah.
So that would make it about $70. Would you say 75?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say about $75.
So, being a custom
I
mod
have
and
have
sourcing the
no-
brick, do you think a price point of 150 would be doable for people who do not want to do the work and get their own brick?
I think you'd have a hard time shifting that. I'm not
Like,
saying it's not worth. I'm not,
because
I'm
some
not saying
people.
it's not worth that. I'm just saying in terms of what someone else
No.
like. People never think about the effort and
No,
what
I
goes into
totally get
things.
that.
They
That's
only
why
think of what they're doing.
I want the option of doing both, selling instructions and part list, and then for people who are just lazy,
Yeah.
you know.
So the only kit I've really done is for my Skylab, and each one of those kits cost me $150 $150 in parts, and I couldn't sell them for $300. I had to drop the price down to like $275, and then I've sold a couple. So that's my only experience with making kits.
Right.
And I had fun doing it, but it's too much effort for me personally. And so that's like the only advice I can give is
Okay.
I had kind of a mixed bag experience with building kits.
Because
Fun.
I do want to talk to Scott, but he's just been out of town for the past few months.
Yeah. And Scott makes a bunch of small kits, and
Yeah.
That's what Scott does, right? Make it modular.
Yeah.
If you make it modular, because Scott did that with his nativity scene, where he made it modular, and you can buy different parts of the nativity scene, and when you put them all together, you've got the big scene. So if you make that modular to an extent,
Make people buy the buildings they want.
Yeah.
I have quite a few more buildings I could design as well.
Exactly. You could then get people based on that interest, and like you say, they could have the buildings they want. You can make a bit, if you've got other designs for other buildings that you really want to do, then yeah.
There's a guy in Germany, Sebastian Nuss. Ich spreche nicht sehr gut Deutsch. He actually makes kits for my Apollo 11 LUT. He sells the kits for $2,200 US. But remember, that LUT back there is 9,600 pieces. And like, I get it. If you want to pay $2,200 for that, because when I built my last one, it took me 3 months to get all the parts. And I was trying to do it fast.
How many has he sold?
He won't tell me, or you know what? I haven't asked, but he's probably sold at least half a dozen.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yep. It's his full-time job, and
did you license it out to him, or
what was that?
Did you license it out to him?
They have to come by the instructions from me. But I'm increasing the price of my instructions to a price point that he can actually sell the instructions and the kit at the same time. This newest revision is going to be interesting because I'm probably cutting the price of parts by like a good 15%, like with the new techniques I have nowadays. Like, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if that's helpful to you at all.
Yeah, I still appreciate a little bit of critique on the building designs or whatever.
I'm going to take a look at those. Yeah.
I still want to make this version of it, but I do like the modular design.
Yeah.
It's just going to get a little bit tricky about making the borders modular. Actually, no, not really.
Like, use something like this, like these Technic.
I was actually just thinking the 20th anniversary Star Wars figures have a modular design where they just have a plate underneath.
Yeah.
Thing to each section that you buy. So something as simple as that. I know Technic would be preferred, but I think for like a common user who don't really want to see the Technic edge on it.
Well, that's why you can do a half pin and then put a tile on the side.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have that as a.
I mean, you can eliminate so many parts if you do something like that.
Yeah, because that's what I do with this. That's a half pin. With a tile on it. Oh, that's it. There we go. And then that just slots in there and makes a button.
Okay.
Hey man, you were asking for advice, and now I'm thinking like a madman.
Out come the boxes. This is where you go for crazy advice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's taken a while to get to this stage, but we got
I mean, you're not going to want to use this color, but put a couple half pins in there,
Yeah.
slap that on, boom, baby. But the other thing you might want to think about, and I'm saying this before I even look at it, is reducing. One of the things that was really effective at reducing the cost was reducing the part variety. So like, and I gave Sam the same advice on his red rocket, his dildo, his black arrow. He had a whole bunch of. It looked beautiful inside, but I was like, you have 4 different colors of 2x2 bricks.
Yeah.
One or two.
That's what most of it is.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I was still showing my screen.
No.
No, Sam got bored of your screen, so he kicked it.
I did nothing of the sort.
I did it myself.
You have done this yourself.
So yeah, most of these are the same plates,
Okay.
same size plates. And then the only thing where I use different colors, I just had a little bit of humor.
Oh, I know about that.
Under the capital, I made the left side blue and the right side red.
I love it.
I have a suggestion. You should put the Statue of Liberty in there because that's in America, right?
No. To be honest with you, it's that big white cross right there. That's America.
We do have a statue. We have a statue of,
America.
Abraham Lincoln in front of the Capitol building, so I could put a nano fig there.
I thought the Capitol building was in Washington, D.C.
Every state has a Capitol building.
Does that make you feel special?
No, it's just where the state legislatures meet.
Yeah, we were
Do
initially.
they all look the same?
No, they're
Did they all look like someone just made one big booby?
Yes.
one way of looking at it.
In
Yes.
Washington, you have the Capitol building, which looks like a booby, and then you have the Lincoln Memorial, is it? I don't know, the one that looks like a giant penis.
Mm-hmm.
No,
And
that's
the
Memorial.
Utah Capitol building looks like the U.S.
And
Capitol.
then you have the guy sitting on the toilet.
That's
That-
Lincoln.
that's-
That's the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah. What famous statues or landmarks does Wales have? Anybody?
We have castles.
Anyone?
I remember
Anyone know if Wales has any world-class statues?
there's a
No.
Churchill statue
Okay.
in front of Parliament that I saw.
Dude, we have one of the largest medieval castles in Europe.
I know. I'm totally kidding, but yeah. Sorry. That was my favorite part about visiting Germany, was seeing all the castles. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I debated about putting this cross in, but I'm like, I think it would help make it sell.
okay, I gotcha.
I mean,
Um,
is where you are, is that considered the Bible Belt? Is that the term in America?
No, but it's practically all of America now. But
Okay.
No, so here's the funny thing is Idaho, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. There's a highway system that goes through all of them called I-15. Lots of Mormons live around those parts, so it's nicknamed the Morador,
Oh, okay.
the Mormon corridor.
I
Anyway.
did not know that.
Yeah. Being an ex-Mormon, I find that to be hilarious.
Oh yes, Castle Cork. That's a great castle.
Okay. Where's the what are those big hinge rocks? Them stone.
Oh, Stonehenge.
Yeah, that's in Wales, right?
That's in England.
I thought it was Salisbury.
I'm just kidding.
It's quite funny because Mrs. Craggle comes from the Midlands, which is very flat. It's basically all riverland, and
Okay.
her sister was insistent that they live in a valley, and I tried to explain to her, to have a valley, you need to have mountains. And she was like, "It's a valley." And then she came then to visit us in Wales, and I was like, "This is what a real valley looks like."
Well, Craggle, come on out to Utah. Come visit. I will show you what real mountains look like.
I would probably love it. I joke and I take the mick out of Americans, but I do love a little bit of Americana. I'm obsessed with like the old West and stuff.
Come visit
You
Wales.
can go.
You guys, but like, I would love to come visit Wales. Seriously,
You would be more than welcome, honestly.
And then, like going to Utah, you can go see where they filmed the Impossible Astronaut
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
The
be.
islands on the lake.
I mean, I've been to America twice, and I still enjoyed the trip to Orlando. I obviously have bad things to say about that area where my own personal experiences.
Well, I mean, that's where Florida lives.
But New York is honestly, I have never left somewhere that wasn't home and felt so sad to be leaving than I was when I left New York. I didn't want to go. I love New York so much. So
New York is a great place. Yep.
So you
I
find
made a
out about
mistake in New York. I'm not going back there.
one thing that really frustrates me is I didn't know there was a Lego store at the Flatiron building. I only knew about the one, the Rockefeller Plaza. So we went to that one, and that was fine. And then we were going to go to the Flatiron building mainly because of its use in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films as the Daily Bugle. And we were really pushed for time, and we were at the Empire State Building, and I could see the Flatiron building from there. So I was like, "Oh well, we don't need to go there now." But if I had gone, I would have seen the massive Lego shop, and I missed out on it. So,
And then you wouldn't. Then you would have had even less time. So,
then I would have had to buy another suitcase.
if you come out to Utah, we've got just beautiful national parks like Zion National Park, and lots of places you can go camping. And we used to own a Jeep, but you can go off road and real easy out here.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Space Them and Samatayu, I'm also a little bit obsessed with the romanticized version of the Old West, the one that exists in popular culture.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's
Utah is definitely somewhere I want to go.
Yeah. I'll
Right
tell
then.
you about my ancestors who were polygamists and came out here.
It's one of those eras though. It's like that. I remember reading an article and they said that no country has done what America has done, where they've got this period of time that is really relatively a short period of time, and romanticized it and popularized it enough that people love it and obsess over it and sort of associate it as being this grand, great golden era when it really wasn't.
It really wasn't. And you get older and you realize, like in Cowboys and Indians, the Cowboys weren't the good guys.
Well, that's the thing. I will say that even as a kid, and before I guess we kind of become more politically correct as a society and stuff, I was never really a fan of Cowboys versus aliens. I always liked Cowboys versus outlaws, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I always liked films where there was the token Native American who was actually part of the team or something. I know it sounds bad.
Like he's the
always
badass of the group.
Yeah, I never liked it when it was Cowboys versus Indians, because as a child I was like, well, surely the Cowboys are the bad guys since this is their home.
Welcome to the United States, where we have been indoctrinated from
It's
our
called
youth.
Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny.
But yeah, I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption years after.
What was that?
I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption 2 years after release as well.
I just love how it's we have freedom of speech and everything, and then they indoctrinate children by saying the Pledge of Allegiance every morning to a
Yeah.
flag.
I'm okay.
I just get amazed at how much of a taboo it is to not be obsessively patriotic in America.
If
you're just I like America, I live here, but I'm not a massive patriot, then you're suddenly a terrorist,
Yeah.
So I used to work in schools doing school photography. So while I'm setting up my camera gear in the gym, the morning announcements are going on, and then all of a sudden, they'll be like, "Oh, it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance," and everyone around me stops what they're doing, looks at the flag, puts their hand on the heart, and repeats, and all in unity. And I'm just standing there, and I could continue doing what I'm working. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Is it true that in some states there's like laws against having the American flag out in like the rain, or like if
there aren't laws. There's guidelines, or like
okay,
you're not going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a code of conduct for flags, and then because it's like you're not supposed to wear the flag, use it as clothing. Yet you see it all the time.
So many people who absolutely love the flag will.
Have you guys seen Borat 2?
Yes,
I haven't.
It's honestly, it's not as good as the first one, which I don't think it ever could be because trying to bottle lightning twice. But it is very good, and I think it was just perfect timing that when they filmed it, the COVID pandemic happened, because some of the stuff in that, they go to this one rally in an open carry state during a global pandemic, and my word, only in your country, gentlemen.
And you're talking about stuff that
that was in Washington, which is to the northwest of me.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about stuff that like I had to talk to my therapist about. Of like, am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? I'm an engineer. I'm so used to like listening to like factual scientific things, and then hearing people go on about being anti-vax. I'm just like, what the fuck has happened to my world? What is going on?
We've done a follow-up show. Do you mind a small spoiler for the film, Joe? Oh.
Sure, go for it.
So during the pandemic, he does, in character, spend a few days with these two guys who I guess the term is redneck. They're like conspiracy theorists. I mean, they're kind enough to let a stranger stay with them during a global pandemic. So I don't think, everyone's not just one thing. But they any sort of like conspiracy theory, they think that Hillary Clinton's drinking the blood of children to stay alive.
Yeah.
Also like that. They've done a follow-up series, and the first episode is just an extended, uncut, so extended version of that sequence in the movie. And then the idea was the following episodes, they have now brought the two guys in, and they're going to have them doing video calls with experts in the fields of where they have this misinformation, and confront them with the facts. I thought it'd be great, but you know what? They proper pussyfoot around it. The expert comes in, is polite, tells them the facts, and then this guy just goes, "Yeah, well, that's interesting, but I don't think I agree with it." And it's the end of the episode. Like, I was waiting for this big debate to happen, to have them sort of argue their side. But instead, it just sort of sits there and goes, "Well, that's just like your opinion, man." But it's like, well, it's not, because that's a scientist giving you factual information.
Yep. And this is why I occasionally will have minor anxiety attacks over global warming, because it's like the people we're talking to don't believe in science at all. Anyway, so Lego.
I think it's time we wrap it up, because we've been going for 2.5 hours.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
And Joe, you're going to take your Falcon down to this place nearby you to go get yourself a job. So we can't distract you from that.
Yeah, and I have to go pick up my son from daycare in an hour. So yeah.
Yeah, we got to definitely got to let you do that then.
Yeah.
So let's sound off. I'm going to give you the floor first. You self-promote yourself, and do you have anything you want to say?
I self-promote really badly. I try to do it like in a lampshading way, because I'm so terrible that I make it even more terrible, kind of like what Joe was saying when he was doing a British accent. But yeah, go check out my channel, please. And I don't know. Oh yeah, got a new video coming out tomorrow as well. So yeah, check that out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Space time. You're up next.
Oh, hello. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I think we're going to move the weekly live stream on my channel back to 2:30 Mountain Time, 9:30 British time, and pretty sure we're going to be building the Last Eternal set.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. And you guys can't see, or not all of you can see this, but there is a man stroking something red and pointy and long and phallic shaped in the bottom of my screen. So,
Who? Who's doing
Joe.
that? Oh, whoops. Well, that was one of the most meandering conversations I've had in a long time. But if you like my stuff, go see me on Flickr under Skylab Bricks. On Etsy, go see all my stuff. Etsy.com shop Skylab Bricks. I've been avoiding Facebook, but I'm going to be getting back on it in a week or so. And thanks for the chat, gentlemen. It's been fun.
Yes, it has been
It's been
outstanding,
interesting.
and thank you all for coming along, especially at short notice. You know,
Thanks for
I
having
will
me.
do better to plan, but you know, like I say, I had a sudden wave of inspiration earlier.
Yeah, I skipped work for this. I was like,
Do you know what? I'm honoured, Space Time, that you would sacrifice work to come hang out with us.
And I skipped dessert, which some might argue is probably a good thing, but
Was it pie?
Thank you.
It was wedding cake.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah, thank you.
also, everyone go to my GoFundMe page so I can build a Lego Titanic on my birthday.
Yes, sir. I
You have a
will.
GoFundMe page for that?
I will, and also buy my instructions.
Release your instructions and we will.
Yeah. I mean, look what I built for one of my friends, Peter.
So on that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to everybody in the chat, Mrs. Craggle, Lady Sam, Jacob Neely. Who else joined us? That's about it. Yeah. So, yes, thank you very much, and we'll see you all again next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.